Oregon's Sean Burwell has run for over 100 yards in 3 of his last 4 games. And quarterback Danny O'Neil is 4th in the Pac-10 in total offense. A number that takes on significant meaning when you learn that O'Neil has been sacked 30 times. For Oregon to make a run at the top dogs today, O'Neil has to keep his cleats in the turf. Oregon and top-ranked Washington are next on Prime Network. Live from Eugene, Oregon, Autzen Stadium, Prime Network presents the Pac-10 Game of the Week. Today, the Oregon Ducks host the top-ranked Huskies of Washington. Autzen Stadium is sold out. In fact, 2,800 bleachers have been added to assure this crowd will be the largest to ever watch a college football game in the state of Oregon. Hi, everybody. I'm Phil Stone. It has been a long time since a #1 team has come to Eugene, Oregon. In fact, 21 years to be exact. Working with me as he has throughout this Pac-10 season is that former Duck tight end himself, Russ Francis. And Russ, 1972, Southern California came to Autzen Stadium on their way to a national championship. Question is, does this match up? Is it the mismatch the odds makers say it is?
Well, you know, Phil, all the experts are obviously giving Washington to be the favorite. Everybody at home feels that. Certainly everybody here at Autzen Stadium. The Ducks are going to have the best game they've ever had to win this game. The stranger things have happened.
Well, indeed they have. For the Washington Huskies, they are +9 in the turnover department. And what you don't see right there is those 9 turnovers have produced 44 points for Washington. Now, on the other hand, the Huskies dead last in the Pac-10 in defense against the rush. That is astonishing because for the last 2 years, they've been #1 and #2 in the nation in rush defense.
Well, in Oregon, and when they've had the 3 wins they've had, they've done it by rushing. The 3 losses, they only accumulated 46 yards on the ground. And because of that, last week, you're looking at 13 quarterback sacks of Danny O'Neil because they couldn't get the running game started.
Yeah, we saw all 13 of those sacks last week against Southern California. You know, I think it is safe to say last week, Danny O'Neil absorbed some tremendous punishment. All week long, I've been trying to think of a word to describe O'Neil. How's fearless fit?
Well, I'll tell you what, last week we saw how tough Danny O'Neil was. Today, we're going to find out how smart he is. Has he learned that perhaps he was hanging on to the football a little bit too long? He wasn't reading the blitz properly. He's going to have to get the ball to Sean Burwell, get that rushing game going to help his passing game.
Now for Washington, Billy Joe Hobart has started at quarterback the last 17 games, Russ. All of them victories, I might add. Today, Coach Don James has decided to make a change. He's going to start Mark Brunell. I suppose he's hoping to propel his Huskies to that next level.
Well, Phil, they're both great quarterbacks, both Rose Bowl MVPs. And I think if you had to ask opposing quarterbacks who they would rather not face, it'd be this man, Mark Brunell. He's more mobile, he's been moving the team better, and he's difficult to account for because of his mobility.
Well, we know all about the top-ranked Huskies of Washington. The third man on our telecast team, the former All-Pro defensive back Mike Haynes, has some thoughts on the Oregon Ducks when they play here at home. Michael?
Oregon has a history of knocking off the big teams here at Autzen Stadium. 2 years ago, they upset the #4 rated Brigham Young Cougars after BYU had upset the #1 Miami Hurricanes. Now, the Huskies haven't won here since 1985, and they've been upset here on their last 2 trips in '87 and '88. Washington knows Oregon is thinking upset, so I expect a close game today. With a couple of breaks, you never know, Oregon could pull off another big upset.
All right, Mike. Well, as you said, it's the Huskies by 17. I don't think this guy's buying it. What do you think, Russ?
Well, as a former Duck, I can't go along with that. And, you know, I never got a chance to beat a #1 ranked team. I think if these guys are going to play the way that they have to win, they can come back 10, 15 years from now and all reminisce about beating the Huskies, you know, as if it were yesterday. It's going to take an exceptional effort.
Well, the one thing we do know is the largest crowd to ever watch an Oregon Ducks football game is assembled here at Autzen Stadium. Next, it's the Ducks and the Dogs. The Pac-10 Game of the Week is brought to you by Lexus Luxury Automobiles, the result of a relentless pursuit of perfection. By Diet Pepsi with 100% AHA. You got the right one, baby. AHA. By Great Western's family of companies, $38 billion strong. Great Western will always be there. By new Coors Dry, it's double chilled for a finish as clean as ice. Try Coors Dry and feel the chill. By your Southern California Chevrolet and Geo dealer. And by Chevron's high-quality gasolines with Tekraline.
How do you feel?
I feel great.
You feel terrible. Do you want to make some money?
Okay.
You feel terrible.
The New York Times calls Night in the City a lively, gripping foray into the urban landscape.
No can do. What's no can do? What's that, a Chinese appetizer?
Not since Raging Bull has there been such a performance.
This is it, man.
Gritty, intense, powerhouse performances from De Niro and Lange.
You want to kill me? I don't give a damn.
I'll bring you home, baby.
Night in the City, rated R. Exclusive New York engagement now playing. Starts Friday everywhere.
Empire mankind has ever seen. And it still is. Caesar's Palace. Relive the legend.
I can't tell you how it feels when you're way out there on your own tracking the bad guys. How it feels leading a skilled team that's the eyes and ears of the whole outfit. When all your training is coming alive. But finding those tanks and telling the air cavalry right where to hit them, I can tell you exactly how that feels.
This live presentation of Pac-10 football on Prime Sports Northwest is brought to you by new Rainier Ice Lager Draft and Rainier Ice Lager Draft Light.
Autzen Stadium sold out. You don't have a ticket, don't even bother coming around. And what a beautiful Saturday afternoon it is for college football here in the great Pacific Northwest. The temperature right in the high 60s, literally no wind to speak of. 10% chance of rain, but that is much later in the afternoon and into the early evening hours. The Huskies will receive the opening kickoff today. Oregon won the toss and deferred. Washington said, fine, we'll take the football. That makes Don James happy. James in his 18th year in Seattle. He's directed Washington to 3 straight bowl appearances, including 2 consecutive victories in the granddaddy of them all, the Rose Bowl. His counterpart today, 16 years at Oregon, Rich Brooks. This is the only Oregon coach to ever lead the Ducks to back-to-back bowl games, 89 Independence Bowl and 1990. A clash with Earl Bruce's Rams from Colorado State in the Freedom Bowl. We're set to go. Back deep to receive for Washington, it is Jason Shelley, number 18, and Napoleon Kaufman. And to boot it away, there is Tommy Thompson, the barefoot Tommy Thompson. Today's kickoff is brought to you by Coors. This crowd is deafening, and Thompson lets it fly. It'll be Jason Shelley at the 9-yard line. Across the 20, and he is clotheslined there. Here come the Huskies, and for the first time since the Rose Bowl of '91, Mark Brunell will begin a football game for the Huskies. A senior from Santa Maria, California, hitting 55% of his passes. And look for Napoleon Kaufman to get the football a whole bunch this afternoon. And the offensive line is anchored by that tackle, Lincoln Kennedy, one of the 12 finalists for the Lombardi Award. Here is Brunell, and it is a noisy place. Darius Turner to the 21, and the Ducks slam him down, led by Ernest Jones. We're going to see an awful lot from this Oregon defense. I just have a feeling today the 3 down guys, Jeff Cummins, he is a tremendous defensive end. The linebacking core, Joe Farwell, number 2 in the Pac-10 in total tackles. And the defensive secondary, the redshirt freshman Alex Molden with 3 interceptions this year. Second down, a long 8. Brunell looking to the short side, loses his footing, throws the pass intended for Napoleon Kaufman, and he bobbles it out of bounds. This is artificial turf, a new field just installed last year here in Eugene, and it is a beautiful turf. We have an offside against Oregon. Well, a week ago here on Prime Network, Russ, we watched as the Ducks self-disintegrated at the hands of Southern California. I made mention with 6 minutes gone that Southern California
lined up in the neutral zone, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Had taken a 17-0 lead before the Ducks had even placed up their shoulder pads. That is the one thing Oregon has to avoid today.
Exactly right, Phil. And when we saw that pass going to Kaufman, he kind of stumbled. I looked at the crown of this field. I went down on the field. I don't remember being that steep, but when you lay down and look across, you can barely see the other sideline.
Second down and 5. Brunell, play action to the wide side of the field, looking downfield. Damon Mack is wide open. Brunell can't find him, and Brunell went down at the 25-yard line. Oh, boy. Damon Mack, the split-end senior out of Gardena, California, was flying down the far sideline and had about 8 yards on the closest guy to him.
And what you see there, right there, Phil, is the speed of the Oregon defense. Brunell is not a slow guy. When he got outside of Lincoln Kennedy in a hurry, Farwell got there and met him before he had a chance to let loose at the ball.
And now it is 3rd and 5 from the 25. Mack and Kralik are split wide to the left. Brunell. It is knocked away. What a great defensive effort by that redshirt freshman I spoke of a moment ago. Alex Molden. Great pressure on Brunell from number 99, Jeff Cummins. And the Huskies are 3 and out.
What they're trying to do there, Phil, is they're trying to release their tight end outside, Brunell, hopefully taking the safety, leaving some room underneath for Ernie Bortson to get underneath him. Just totally covered.
John Wardell, the 6'2 junior, averaging 38 yards a punt, will let it fly, standing at his own 12-yard line. And there is Ronnie Harris. He already has returned 1 for a touchdown this year. 4 snap. Wardell gets it away. Harris waits. He's got it at the 35. Retreats to the 33, turns the corner and won't get much. Out of bounds he goes at the 38-yard line.
Great job of Washington, from Washington, of breaking through that wall. They had 4 guys who got through the blockers there. Harris had no place to go, couldn't turn it upfield.
Danny O'Neill will lead the Duck offense. The sophomore from Newport Beach, California, was manhandled a week ago. And the guy he wants to get the ball to, has to get the ball to, is Sean Burwell on an offensive line that was ripped to shreds a week ago today. 1st and 10, Oregon. The ball at the 38-yard line. Somebody jumped. It was number 74, Mike Lustig, the nose tackle for Washington. He's claiming that Oregon had a false starter movement on that offensive line. Let's listen to Gordon Reese.
Before the snap, false start, offense. Still first down.
Yeah, I think we saw the guy that moved, Phil. It was number 65, but Mike DeFonso. He got started a little bit early, and Washington took advantage of it for the offsides.
33, 1st and 15.
Now it is 1st and 15. The ball at their own 33-yard line. Oregon with their first possession here on a beautiful autumn afternoon in Eugene. Offside, Washington. Free play. It's Sean Burwell carrying it in behind DeFonso and Steve Harden.
This is the guy who, having his best day, was 154 yards against Nevada, Las Vegas. He is the guy that they're going to have to get the ball to. He needs 186 yards to move into 3rd place in the all-time Oregon rushing. He'd be edging out a guy I played with, Phil, by the name of Donnie Reynolds, one fine running back.
Offside against Tommy Smith of Washington.
Defense. Still first down.
So the Ducks get the ball right back. And now it's 1st down and 10 at the original line of scrimmage for Oregon, the 38-yard line. Wide to the left goes Anthony Jones. Derek Detweiler is the other wide out. O'Neal, over the top it goes, intended for Vince Ferry, the tight end. He has it out across the 44, and Tommy Smith brings him down. The Washington defense, not nearly the dominant defense it has been over the last couple of years. There's the 3-down lineman led by Jamal Fontaine. The linebacking core, tremendous speed, absolutely lightning quick. You can't run the perimeter against the Huskies, and the defensive secondary is outstanding, led, of course, by Walter Bailey. That is Sean Burwell. On 2nd down and 4, he picks up a long one, maybe 2, before Dave Hoffman brings him down. Hoffman is one of those lightning quick linebackers. Hoffman on the watch list for the Butkus Award. There's Sean Burwell, averaging 90 yards a game. The one troublesome aspect about Sean Burwell is he has laid it on the carpet 5 times this year, and the Ducks have lost it 4 of the times. 3rd down and a long 3. Burwell slicing off right tackle, and there's nothing there. James Clifford, who, when he's not playing football for Washington, is playing baseball in the Seattle Mariners organization. Clifford leaving the game, kind of holding his right shoulder. Now watch the pop. Watch number 53 come knifing in right there.
That gives you an idea of how strong a runner Burwell really is. It looks like he really nailed that right shoulder of Clifford. And Clifford's the only guy retaining or coming back on the Huskies that played here in 1988.
4th down. They'll have to punt it away. Tommy Thompson booms it. Kaufman is going to let it go. Can they kill it on the 1-yard line? Wait a minute. The officials say no. Touchback. Oregon, tremendous punt coverage. Into the end zone it goes. The Huskies will have it at the 20 when we return.
It's a refreshing taste from a cold, cold place. Yeah, it's easy going down from the very first round. Pure as can be, it's a natural, you see. Oh, it's smooth, smooth, silver bullet smooth. Yeah, well, that's our story. Now it's your call. Cold Coors Light is the right beer now. That's all. Bye-bye.
I suppose getting older has its drawbacks. Your hair starts to get thin. You can't stay up for the late show. And spicy foods, forget them. But it's not all bad. When you turn 55, Great Western will give you a free checking account. Now, that'll save you money. It'll make you feel good. So if you're 55, talk to Great Western Bank. They've got 8 ways to get free checking. I'm going to do it in about 10 years.
Les Schwab batteries for whatever you drive. .07 to play in the first period. We are scoreless from Autzen Stadium in Eugene, Oregon. Well, Don James in his 18th year. He's won 5 Pac-10 titles at Washington, surpassed only by John McKay, who has 9 Pac-10 titles. Look at those career wins. James with 94, UCLA's Kerry Donahue behind him with 82, and the man of whom I spoke, John McKay, with 70. 1st and 10. Option comes to the near side. It's Napoleon Kaufman, and he is chased out. Tremendous pursuit by the corner on the left side. Herman O'Berry, a sophomore from North Highlands, California. Look at that per rush average. That is astonishing. 7.5 yards a carry.
Well, he can do it all, too. He can catch the ball in the backfield. And Brunell, they're running the option. He's a quick, fast guy, but Darius Turner being played off by O'Berry, making that option a very difficult thing for Washington to run.
2nd and a long 9 for Mark Brunell and company. Now Washington's audibilizing. They'll go to the split back offense. Brunell looking screen, throws and throws it away. There's a classic case on Jason Shelley, the true freshman from Vallejo, California, the intended receiver, not being able to hear the audible.
Well, you know, last week USC gave Oregon fits with those kinds of adjustments. I think Oregon is going to try and do that with Washington. My opinion on that pass was, you know, Brunell said, hey, I don't have enough time to get this ball off. I'm just going to throw it away. There was no receiver, you know, within catchable range.
The senior from Santa Maria, Mark Brunell, faced with a 3rd and 9 situation. 3 wideouts, split wide to the right. Brunell looking to the short side. Now running for his life. Farwell overran the play. Brunell is finally tackled at the 28 by Eric Castle. He'll be short of the first down, and for the second time in as many possessions, the Huskies will have to punt it away.
You know, one thing was strange last week, Phil. Oregon did not really seem to be putting pressure on the punter. And Stonehouse really was taking a lot of time getting his punts off, letting his guys get downfield a little bit. Oregon's going to have to rush the punter, put some pressure on him.
And along with that, they've got 10 men on the line. They've got to block down to allow Harris room to roam. Wardell, good snap. Plenty of time to punt it away. Not a long punt. Harris is calling for the fair catch at the 34-yard line, and he fields it cleanly. So with 10:07 to play in the first period, the Ducks will have the football for the second time in the game. Now, you want to know how close the #1 vote was this past week? Look at the AP poll. Washington, 1,517.5 points. Miami, 1 point behind. And then you look at the coaches poll, and it's an exact flip-flop with the Canes over the Dogs by a single digit. First down, Oregon at their own 34-yard line. Burwell is in motion. O'Neal wants to roll left. On the run, it is Huffman, and down he goes. That is Dave Huffman's 5th sack of the year. Actually, he has 5.5 sacks now in the season.
Well, it's going to be kind of tough whether you want to, of course, it may be a little partial, but people would say that. O'Neal running with the ball, is it a sack or not? But Hoffman, one of the finest linebackers in the country, up for the Butkus Award, Dick Butkus Award for the top linebacker in the country. He's got a lot of speed because O'Neal is not a slow guy either.
You know, that Butkus Award presented annually by the Downtown Athletic Club of Orlando, Florida. Second down now and 16. The kid is the Ricky Whittle, the redshirt freshman. Oh, still on his feet to the 34-yard line. James Clifford had him and couldn't halt time.
You know, this is what Oregon is looking for from their offense. Their defense has been playing really tough, hard-nosed defense all year long. They've been waiting for their offense to get this kind of spirit. Whittle here just not willing to go down. Hoffman gets a shot at him. Everybody, about 3 or 4 guys, just not willing to go down. The defense needs, Oregon defense needs to see their offense play that kind of football.
It is third down now and 10. The clock is now down to 10 seconds, 9 seconds, 8 seconds. The Ducks are going to either have to call a timeout or take it on the first sound. O'Neal with time, puts it up for grabs. It is intercepted by Josh Moore of Washington. Derek Detweiler was a step beyond Moore, but O'Neal needed about 2 yards more on the pass.
Well, Oregon doing what they needed to do as far as getting a quick count to keep Washington off guard, but Moore is one of those guys, he's playing zone here. He's just backing right into the pass, right in front of Detweiler. Great position defense. You know, O'Neal trying to get the ball up over him. It just flattened out at the wrong time for allowing Moore to intercept it.
Huskies great field position now at their own 47-yard line. We are scoreless, 9:08 to play in the first quarter. Wide to the left is Eric Bjornsson. He has 11 receptions already this year. Brunell, play action, looking to the short side of the field, puts it up for grabs, and it is incomplete at the 17-yard line. Good downfield coverage on Damon Mack by Alex Molden, the redshirt freshman, who a week ago was burned badly by Johnny Morton of Southern California.
Well, it was a fine pass last week, and Molden, he's just playing like he's wearing him. You know, he's sticking with him. Right here, some people say, you know, you bump him, there's just not enough room along the sideline. Damon Mack trying to backpedal into that pass, Molden not having anything to do with that.
And as we have said, he is just a freshman. Second down and 10 now from the 47. Brunell swings it to the near side. Oh, what a hit! Big hit on Napoleon Kaufman. And who led the charge? Molden and a sophomore named O'Berry.
Those guys are two of the top tacklers on the Oregon defense. They have been looking at this film because they played that screen just perfect. Matt Jones, the fullback for Washington, number 22, tried to get out to the block, Holden. And as a freshman, to have that kind of savvy to pick up the screen that quick, come up and tackle the guy for a loss, shows a lot of heads-up football.
Everybody wanted him. He is a tremendous talent. Third down now and 17 for the top-ranked Huskies. Brunell still looking to throw. Oh, does he take a hit? And down he goes, and Brunell's going to be slow getting up. What a tremendous shot by Terrell Edwards. Brunell still down.
Edwards playing with a badly bruised thigh. He's saying, you know, listen, I've been bruised up bad enough. It's time to trade this off. Out of the corner of your screen, you kind of see Lincoln Kennedy, number 75, wheeling the linebacker Ernest Jones around. That could be constituted as holding. But Brunell just not being able to avoid a vicious hit by Terrell Edwards.
You know, while they watch Brunell, John Wardell is on to punt it away for the third time already, and we haven't even played 8 minutes. Oregon with 10 men. They're coming after it. Wardell lets it go, and this is a beauty. It'll back Harris up inside the 10. He'll fair catch it at the 8, and the question is why. So the Ducks will have it at their own 8-yard line when we return with 7:59 to play in the first quarter.
Come on, let's go where the treats are terrific. Dairy Queen. Nowhere else will you find such a treasure of pleasure. A lavish spectacular of exciting, inviting, cool, and creamy smooth treats. So fun-loving and delicious, the only word for it is wonderful. Frozen yogurt or soft serve, plain or fancy, day or night, bite after bite. We treat you right. Dairy Queen.
You're watching college football on your local Prime affiliate.
Hello, stranger.
I'm hardly a stranger.
Well, you are late.
I know. You shouldn't have waited 10 years for this. Happy anniversary.
The Diamond Anniversary Band. Tell her you'd marry her all over again.
You sure can pick an appetizer.
Imagine no longer being bound by the limits of your telephone. Imagine personal communication no longer tied to a home, an office, even a car. That's why Cellular One is building a new cellular network across North America. Imagine what that freedom can mean to you, to all of us. To reserve your number, call our number, 1-800-IMAGINE.
In Oregon. Some huge scores around the Pac-10. Washington State handing the Bruins their third consecutive loss. And look at this one. Unbelievable. Arizona has yet to allow a touchdown in the first half this year as they knock off 8th-ranked Stanford. That's Ricky Whittle. Not much running room as he meets head-on DeMarco Farr and Andy Mason.
Yeah, first thing comes to mind as the game started out, Phil, to me, was that there's a lot of enthusiasm here in the Oregon crowd. The defense, both defenses playing very well. I mean, in order for Oregon to keep that kind of tempo against a team as good as Washington, they've got to realize, hey, we're having a little bit of success. The offense, as I mentioned earlier, is going to have to come up with some of that, but they've got to do it for 4 quarters.
Wide to the left, Detweiler. It is Anthony Jones to the right. O'Neal retreats into his end zone throws. It is caught by Willie Tate, the tight end. And he is close to a first down at the 19-yard line. The success of the tight end here in 1992 at Oregon is legendary. That's the 21st ball that tight ends Willie Tate and Vince Ferry have caught combined.
You know, I kind of had to chuckle there, too. The tight end, Tate, catching the ball wide open, nobody around. 13 yards downfield, prior to 13 yards downfield for the first down. He kind of looked like, hey, there's no one around here. I'm kind of surprised.
On the 19, Oregon with the first down. Now the Ducks out of the eye. That's Burwell. Big hole to the 24-yard line following Steve Harden and Mike DeVonzo. James Clifford on the stop.
Clifford in the field on the stop for the Huskies.
Burwell, 3 of his last 4 games, he has been over 100 yards. A week ago against Southern California, the Trojans stuffed them and stuffed them good.
Well, with only 47 yards rushing last week against USC, Burwell's got to be saying to himself, hey, I've got to have a great game. I'm capable of it. My teammates are behind me. This is the game to do it.
Again, the Ducks from the eye. The up back is Juan Shedrick. O'Neal, the quick out. It is caught by Anthony Jones. He turns around and carries it for still another Duck first down at the 47-yard line. Walter Bailey, the senior corner from Portland, knocked him down. Great touchdown a week ago by that fellow right there, Anthony Jones.
And these type of patterns, these flat out patterns to the receivers, in this case Anthony Jones for 17 yards for a first down. This is what Oregon did not do last week. They allowed the guys, the defense, to get to their quarterback. Now they're saying we're going to quick pass, run Burwell to the right, run to the left, get the ball downfield, open it up over the middle.
Derek Detweiler split wide to the right. That is Jones in motion right at you. Now reverses himself. There is Ricky Whittle, and there's not much there. Clifford again. Somebody has got to get a block on James Clifford.
They've got so many good linebackers. I mean, if it's not Clifford, it's Hoffman. If it's not Hoffman, it's Mason. Those are the kind of guys that can really make or break the game on an offense. I mean, you got to move those guys, move them upfield. The offensive line for Oregon not playing that well last week, or at least feeling that they had, that they could have played better. You're seeing more movement on the line.
Second down and a long 9. Let's go down the field and Mike Dean. Mike?
Bill, Brunell, you know he's injured. Looks like he may have been injured on that last play in the big hit by Cummings. Looks like right now he just has a bruised tailbone. They think he will be back in, and you can expect him back in the game when the offense is on the field.
Well, I should say, if it's just a tailbone, he's not sitting down.
Before the snap, false start, offense. Still second down.
You know, Rich Brooks, as you look at his reaction, a coach is saying in that situation, how can it be a false start with the center? He's the guy snapping the football.
So that'll back the Ducks up 5.
Second down, 14.
Now it'll be second down and 14. The ball just inside the Ducks' 34-yard line. No score from Eugene, Oregon. Phil Stone along with Russ Francis and Mike Haynes. 3 wideouts for the Ducks. O'Neal on the draw. It is Ricky Whittle, and he's got some room across the 50-yard line. A first down for Oregon at the Dogs' 41.
We mentioned the type of spirit that the Oregon offense was going to have to show their defense. Hey, we can contribute 2 guys. Is this guy Whittle blasting right through the center of the line for 25 yards. Headed towards the center, made a right turn. See that blocking downfield by Willie Tate, the tight end. Now you see Harris coming downfield to lend the block. It's going to take everybody contributing, and that's the type of play. And here's a guy, Ricky Whittle, that can do it.
Just a freshman from Fresno, California. First down. The Ducks have it, and they're moving it. Play action. O'Neal looking for his tight end. Now throws. It is knocked down. Pass intended for Anthony Jones, and Walter Bailey got a hand on it. Great story about Walter Bailey. earlier, Coach James decided that too many of the Washington players were wearing towels in the front of their pants, so he decreed that only quarterbacks and wide receivers could wear towels. And Walter Bailey said fine, so he took the towel out and put a shoestring in the front of his pants and said, well, Coach said just towels.
Well, you know, you watch Bailey there. People at home watching this can get a feeling on that last play of how talented this guy is, backing up at full speed and then jumping, you know, a couple feet off the ground and knock that pass down.
That was Juan Shedrick, the fullback. The first time we have seen number 24 carry the ball today.
You know, I've got a feel that Oregon is going to move the ball around to everybody. They're going to get it to Whittle. They're going to get it to Sean Burwell. They didn't do that last week. Now they're showing they're going to also use Juan Shedrick in there. And at 6'2", 228, he's a guy that can move people up the middle.
3:57 to play here in the first quarter.
You know, Phil, as I look at this, you look at O'Neill here, the coaches for Washington upstairs are going crazy. We got to make some changes, guys. We've got to make some adjustment to this Oregon offense. It's showing so much more than they did last week.
3rd and 7. O'Neill with time, puts it up for grabs. Somebody broke off a pattern, and it was Anthony Jones. He had his hands out to his side like, what? What was that ball doing back there? So somebody got confused. Either it was O'Neill or Anthony Jones. And on 4th and 7, the Ducks are going to have to get rid of the football.
Washington doing a fine job there, putting pressure on O'Neill and covering everybody downfield. The broken pattern by Jones is one thing, but they had everybody else covered.
Tommy Thompson, his first punt carried 55 yards. It is Napoleon Kaufman back at his own 10-yard line as Thompson tries to find the sideline. Inside the 15 and down there. They'll officially mark it at the 11-yard line. A good punt by Tommy Thompson. The Huskies will have it when we return.
Whoa, come to Starbucks and you'll see many of the same people who fly on Horizon Air. Why, you may ask? But they were just asking. Because Starbucks is the coffee served on Horizon Air. And when you add a tasty little bite to go along with it, free morning paper and more flights than any airline in the Northwest, I don't know. What do you think?
Are you asking them or me?
You.
I'm sorry. What was the question?
Can I get back to you?
New Rainier Ice Lagered Cold Filtered Draft Light.
Others are Rainier. Fresh. Rainier. Ice.
Draft.
Lager. That's
Light.
Rainier.
Ice Lagered Draft. Rainier Ice Lagered Draft Light. Always brings you back to that mountain fresh taste.
Hey, you telling me marijuana's gonna mess up my concentration? I ain't gonna worry about that.
3:25 to play in the opening quarter. We are scoreless. Rich Brooks, the Oregon Ducks coach, has been the head coach here in Eugene for the last 16 years. He knows firsthand the importance of home field advantage.
Well, this will be a record crowd today. I believe that the noise level will be about as bad as it is probably in Husky Stadium, only it'll be on our side, hopefully anyway, most of it. And we've played well at home against Washington and most everybody else.
And there is the largest crowd to ever assemble for a college football game in the entire state of Oregon. And this Duck team plays very well here at Autzen Stadium. Over the last 6 seasons, 24-8. 1st and 10, Washington at their own 14-yard line. Straight ahead it goes. It is Matt Jones. He loses the football, but was he down? The officials say he was down. No fumble. Well, that is something you see the Huskies do very rarely.
They get the handoff here, and Jones looking, well, he's obviously down here, falls on the football when it comes loose. It's hard to hang on to it like that, Bill. You know, you're moving forward, you fall down on the ball like that, it comes out, and you go, oh my gosh, it's a fumble, but it's not. He was down first.
A gain of 8, 2nd and 2. Napoleon Kaufman's got a seam, turns the corner, steps his way down, and he's out of bounds at the 31-yard line. Whoa, what a tightrope act. Joe Farwell is the guy who bumped him out.
Now, this guy, you see that acceleration when he made the corner. I mean, that's acrobatic stuff, too. He's being able to run down the sideline. Watch this turn, Bill, when he makes that right turn, the acceleration. Getting 10 yards for a first down, almost breaking it for quite a few more.
If you just joined us, every time that man right there touches the football on a run, he averages 7.5 yards. Draw play. It's Kaufman again, and this time the Ducks will stop him at the 30, short of the line of scrimmage, I believe. The line of scrimmage at the 32-yard line. Kaufman was wrapped up just across the 30.
Trying to run behind a guy by the name of Lincoln Kennedy, 6'7", 325 pounds, number 75. This guy is a horse, and they're going to try and get Kaufman behind him as many times as they can. That guy's up to the Lombardi Trophy as the top lineman in the country. How'd you like you be looking at his face there, Phil? I'm sorry for interrupting, but they showed Kennedy's face there. How'd you like to be looking right across the line at that guy?
No, thank you. That's Kaufman. And again, the guy that was leading the charge, David Massey, the junior inside linebacker from Vancouver, Washington. Well, earlier I asked who in the heck was going to put a block on James Clifford, and a couple of minutes ago it appears as if Sean Burwell was the guy who lowered his shoulder onto the right shoulder of Clifford. The linebacker for Washington appears to be out of this game with a sore right shoulder and a thigh bruise. Very doubtful that he'll return today. That's a huge loss for Washington.
They cannot afford to lose a guy like Clifford, and certainly not Hoffman.
Third down and 9. Brunell. He throws, it is caught. Matt Jones out of the backfield has got it for a first down at the Ducks' 48-yard line.
Pass complete to Matt Jones.
Brunell looking like he wanted to run with it. Paul Rodriguez, number 25, laying the boom on him. And Washington showing they've got so many weapons they can use. Brunell taking off here. Rodriguez just laying into him, getting the ball to Matt Jones, number 22, the fullback.
A gain of 19 for the Husky fullback at the 48-yard line of Oregon. It's first and 10, Washington. 57 seconds to play in the first quarter. Brunell's numbers thus far not particularly impressive. But the Huskies are moving it. There's Kaufman. Defensively, the Ducks moving laterally very, very well here in the first quarter.
You know, I know, everybody in the stadium knows that Oregon has been working all week long on that guy, these two guys, Brunell and Kaufman. We have to contain both of them in their running game if we have any chance of stopping them.
The gain was 1. It is second down and 9. The ball nosing the 47-yard line. Now, thus far, the Ducks have avoided that rash of mistakes a week ago in the first quarter against Southern California, and because of that weird deadlock, 0-0. Straight ahead it goes. Darius Turner, the senior fullback from Gardena, California, moves it inside the 43 before David Massey brings him down with help from Ernest Jones. That is the final play of the first quarter. We are scoreless from Eugene, Oregon.
Salary, $31,000. That is your present salary. Have you ever declared bankruptcy, Mr. Howard?
Hempel. Hempel. I want to fix up my bathroom.
Bathroom? I thought it was Carlo.
Mr. Hempel.
I thought it was Hazer.
Hazer. It is Hazer.
I'm Hempel.
It is a Carlo. And you want to have your bathroom fixed, too?
He wants to have his bathroom fixed. Mr. Hempel.
Avoid the confusion. Finance your new car with GMAC right at your GM dealership. Nobody knows more about auto financing and leasing.
The Pacific 10 Conference has long been known as the Conference of Champions. Pac-10 success in football and men's basketball is unparalleled nationally. Yet the Pac-10 may be best known for supporting the nation's strongest overall athletic programs, having captured the most NCAA championships in both men's and women's sports. The Pac-10 region stretches throughout the glorious West, from Arizona to California and north to Oregon and Washington. For 76 years, the Pacific 10 Conference has held to its commitment to being the Conference of Champions.
That's one of those beef,
Euros. Haven't you tasted one of these yet?
I know.
Where have you been, Mike? Living in a cave?
Yeah, so?
It's the new beef gyro from Jack in the Box.
Okay, how about just a bite? Just one little bite.
Seasoned gyro beef, creamy, tangy Greek sauce, and warm, soft gyro bread.
Say pretty please.
Pretty please.
No.
The new beef gyro from Jack in the Box. Have you had one yet?
When you've got a job to do, call on Magnum Power. The power of Dodge Dakota 4x4 Club Cab. Equipped with our new Magnum V8 engine. It'll out-haul, out-tow, just plain out-work any comparable Ford, Chevy, or import compact. Dakota is simply the best all-around pickup in America, bar none. Plus, you can get savings of over $3,400 on select Magnum Club Cabs. Put Magnum Power to work for you.
Now, see a special selection of Magnum trucks at your local Northwest Dodge dealer.
Today's first quarter notes are brought to you by our friends at Great Western. Now, the Huskies had an opportunity to score after Josh Moore picked up a Danny O'Neill pass. They couldn't do it. Brunel just 2 for 6 for 12 yards. And look at total yards. Oregon outdistancing number 1 ranked Washington 70-47. On 3rd and 5, 3 wideouts wide to the left. Brunel looking to the short side. Klumpman out of the backfield has got it. He has a first down at the 36-yard line. Chad Cota, the strong safety, a sophomore from Ashland, Oregon, brought him down. Ernest Jones, the right side linebacker, had a chance at getting to Brunel and couldn't get there quick enough.
There's a guy over here, Jones, is coming in. This is what you're going to be seeing all day long is pressure from these linebackers trying to get to Brunel. See Jones here just almost wanted to lower the boom. And Kaufman, this guy is effective out of the backfield. You give him any room at all, he's gone.
He's effective no matter where he gets the football. First down, Washington. Flags against Oregon. Free play. Kaufman turns the corner. He's got it down to the 31-yard line. A gain of 5. Jeff Cummins, the senior right defensive end, brought him down. Now the flag will be against Oregon. Let's listen to Gordon Reese.
Offside indicated against the Ducks.
Now that's the 4th penalty against the Ducks today, and the offside call went against Jeff Cummins.
And the one thing Coach Rich Brooks, I'm sure, mentioned to his team.
Offside defense. Still first down.
All week long is, gentlemen, we cannot afford to make any mistakes against this team, especially down here close to the end zone.
First down, Oregon 31.
So it's 1st and 5 now for the Washington Huskies. Wide to the left, Eric Bjornsson. To the right comes Joe Kralik. The setbacks, Turner and Kaufman. Brunel double pumps. It is caught. And out of bounds goes Darius Turner.
Well, Chad Cota, number 7, on Turner's back real tight. Good defense by the Oregon defense, trying to put pressure up the middle to rush Brunel into that throw.
Very close to a first down. They'll bring the chains all the way across the field.
And this is what you have time to do, Phil. You see Brunel there talking to his receivers, talking to his line. You've got to communicate. I mean, you don't have much time in between snaps. But when the receivers come back and you've got time where they're making this kind of a measurement, you've got to use that, take that to your advantage to communicate to the guys and say, hey, listen, what's working for you? Can you beat this guy? Can you get inside of him?
Washington will be short of the first down. It will be 2nd and about 6 inches. There is Don James, won 73% of his Pac-10 games over his 18 years. Scores around the nation. Look what 4th-ranked Alabama did to Tennessee. Texas A&M rolls past Rice. There's a huge upset. Boston College. Oh, my. Invite you to stay tuned for College Football Today's halftime report. Glenn Walker will have all the scores and some highlights for you. 2nd down from the I formation. Play action. Brunel looking for Turner. Puts it up for grabs. It is caught out of bounds by Joe Kralik. No catch. And it'll be 3rd down now at 6 inches.
You know, one guy there, number 1, he was covering 2 guys. I mean, Brunel's trying to get outside of that rush, putting pressure up the middle. And Molden playing it perfect right in between 2 Husky offensive guys. He ran them all the way to the sideline.
last week here on Prime Network. Russ and I were at the Coliseum in Los Angeles, where you witnessed the same thing we saw, namely an SC trouncing of Oregon 32-10. Straight ahead it goes, and I'm still not sure Washington got the first down. The point I wanted to make about that game last week, Russ, is though Oregon was beaten, his defense right there, Rich Brooks' defense, played extremely well overall.
You think this guy's fired up for this game?
25. First down. Now, Rich doesn't particularly care for the spot, but with the ball nosing the 25-yard line, they picked up the first down by about a half yard.
Well, Gary Williams, number 54, doing a good job trying to come in here and fill. But Darius Turner just at the last second, and you know when you're a player there on the offensive line, first thing you do is you look at that official when he's coming in. Is it going to be a first down or not? In this case, it was.
From the I formation, wide to the left, it is Damon Mack. Eric Bjornsson is in the slot to the left. Now Brunell wants to change the play. Option, Kaufman, left side. Inside the 15-yard line and spun out by Herman O'Berry.
You know, on that option play, you usually got one guy per man, and that job of covering Kaufman fell to Joe Farwell, number 51. That's a tough assignment. This guy, Kaufman, when he gets the ball, Turner out in front trying to block. Farwell trying to get to Kaufman. He just got 1 foot. It takes O'Berry. Look at him slamming to the ground. We got to hurt this guy every chance we get. And Turner out blocking in front is hurt.
Appeared as if he turned an ankle while trying to get a block down. Didn't get the block down, and in the process turned an ankle. First down, Washington. This is the Huskies' deepest penetration thus far today. On the 15-yard line. Brunell, touchdown! Touchdown, Washington!
And you can tell from the noise, and when you're looking at the stands, there are a lot of Husky fans here today with that purple, and they're showing their support for their quarterback, Mark Brunell. The red zone is a place that Washington's very familiar with. As we watch Brunell making the choice and not give it to Kaufman, take it straight upfield himself, they have managed to score 82% of the time. They've moved inside the opponent's 20-yard line.
That is his 12th rushing touchdown as a quarterback in Washington. And here is Travis Hansen. From the hold of Bjornsson, Hansen whistles it through the uprights. And with 13 minutes and 17 seconds to play in the first half, the Huskies 7, Oregon nothing.
You know, Diet Pepsi is now for everyone. That's right, Ray. Meet my twin brother, Irv.
And our twin Peter
With caffeine-free Diet Pepsi, I get all that great taste, but there's no caffeine. Sing it, brother. You got the right one, baby. Irresistible, undigestibly tasteable, and caffeine-free. You got the right one, baby. Hey.
Is the 100%
You're watching college football on your local Prime affiliate.
I like the sound of lobster tonight. Sizzler, sounds good. Just give me 5 now, that sounds right. Sizzler, sounds good.
Brazilian finger lobster, steamed to sweet perfection. 5 of them served with a juicy steak. Finger lobster and steak for just $8.99.
Sizzler, sounds good. Sizzler, that sounds good.
Are we ever going to run out of trees? No way. Last year we planted 35 million trees, one at a time, by hand. It's difficult, hard, labor-intensive work. Is it worth it? Yeah. Because it's our job as foresters to make sure that next forest gets started. Forests are a renewable resource. That's one of the wonderful things about them.
A message from the forest product companies and the thousands of people who grow and manage private forests here in Washington.
Got him there. Mark Brunell on the option. merited 14 yards. The Pater. A drive that went 87 yards in just a little over 5 minutes. That's Donovan Moore, number 22, and Sean Burwell standing back inside their own 5-yard line as Travis Hansen, the 6-foot junior, tees it up and gets set to boot it away. Donovan Moore, 8th in the NCAA in kickoff returns, averaging almost 27.5 yards per return. Burwell is right there with him at 27.5 yards. The problem is Sean hasn't returned enough kickoffs to officially make it into the NCAA or the Pac-10 rankings, but both of them, when they get the ball, they can fly. That's Burwell. Retreats into the end zone and down on the knee, and wisely so. Washington's kickoff coverage team is one of the very best in all of college football. So Hansen does his job. Question is, can the Husky defense do theirs? Oregon needs to get an offensive drive going, and there's the man who will direct the charge, Danny O'Neill.
And I think we're going to see the same thing we've been seeing in the first quarter, Phil, and that is Oregon passing the ball, short passes, trying to mix it up in first and second down, maybe a pass here. Burwell, Whittle, and Shedrick.
Detweiler. He is popped and popped again, once at the 29 by Josh Moore, and then Dave Hoffman came up and stuck a helmet in his face mask at the 31. It's a pickup of 11 for Derek Detweiler and a first down for Oregon.
Well, this guy here, Hoffman, is not the guy you want to meet on the field of play in this fashion. Josh Moore, number 7, the first guy to get there, and what he does to Detweiler is kind of hold him up and say, here, Dave, have a shot. Yikes. I remember how that used to feel. I'm sure glad I'm not there.
First down, Ducks. In motion, Ronnie Harris. The give is straight ahead. Burwell spins out to the 35, and he is gang tackled there. Jamie Fields in on the tackle, along with Hillary Butler.
Good job there by the offensive line. The center, Tom Curran, 57, Mike DeFonso, 65, Harden, 77. They're getting that kind of push with Collinsworth, 75. These guys are big and they're agile, and this is what they're going to have to do against the fine Washington defensive line, is get some kind of movement, give just a little bit of a window, a little bit of a gap for Burwell and the other runners to take advantage of.
2nd and 6 now from their own 35-yard line. Oregon from the eye. O'Neill looking for the sideline. It is caught. Ronnie Harris has got it and takes it out of bounds at the 43. He has got another Duck first down.
This guy can hurt you so many different ways. He's just coming out here and just running this flat pattern we're talking about, trying to tiptoe up the sideline. Harris punt returns, he receives, and this is what they're going to do. They're going to spread the passing out. They're going to give it to Harris on the right, Detweiler on the left, Burwell up the middle. They're using them all.
For Oregon, their 4th first down of the ball game. Washington has but 3. Straight ahead it goes. Again, it is Burwell. And Burwell has to be saying to Hillary Butler, get off my back.
Well, you look at the sign, says defense, and these guys in purple can play defense. It's interesting, Phil, to watch the struggles that go on in the offense and defensive lines. These are big guys, and it's like being on an island out there. These guys, kind of a lonely place, these linemen. It's long days and little acclaim.
Keep in mind, Hillary Butler, who made the tackle on Burwell, is playing in place of James Clifford, who left in the first quarter with a bruised shoulder and a thigh injury. O'Neill, play action, looking over the middle. It is thrown in and out of the hands of Ronnie Harris. A ball that should have been caught. I'm not certain if Hillary Butler crossing in front of Harris caused Harris to take his eyes off the ball, if even for a split second.
Bailey, number 23 here in trail, he got beat by Harris, and that was a ball, Phil, you're absolutely right, that should have been caught, and Harris would be the first guy to tell you.
Harris playing with a fractured finger. He's the long strider of this receiving corps, averaging 17 yards a catch. 3rd down now in 8. The ball at the 46-yard line. O'Neill pressured. He's going down 2nd time today. Andy Mason led the charge. Let's go down to the sidelines now, and Mike Haynes. Michael?
Well, Phil, Darius Turner, number 31, the starting fullback, is out with a sprained right ankle. The doctor says he will not return. As you see there, looking at it, it's wrapped in ice. Another terrible blow for Washington. Let's hope that they don't have any more injuries of this nature.
Well, that's two guys down. James Clifford, number 53.
Now, Tommy Thompson's going to let it fly. This is his third punt. He's averaging 40 yards a punt. Napoleon Kaufman is going to let it bounce. Takes a Washington bounce and touch there by number 93. Of course, that's Mark Slyman. Stay with us at halftime as we bring you College Football Today's halftime report. As we have told you, Glenn Walker will be along to bring you all the scores, some tremendous upsets, and all the highlights of today's college football action on College Football Today's halftime report. Coming up in just 10 minutes and 24 seconds.
You know, Phil, as we looked at pressure being put on Daniel O'Neal, I spoke to his parents before the game, and they said that during the USC game, when he was being sacked so many times, his grandmother, who was at the game, said she wanted to go down to the field and say, "Come on, honey, it's time to go home." And hopefully that they want to take him off the field. And, you know, Oregon cannot let that happen in this game. And Danny kind of held on that ball a little bit long.
Billy Joe Hobart is now into the ball game at quarterback for Washington. The pitch goes to the wide side. Napoleon Kaufman makes the turn and is hit after a gain of 2 by David Massey.
You know, the quarterbacks, they really count on that offensive line, and as I mentioned, O'Neal, his line giving him a lot of time to throw the ball. Just couldn't find anybody downfield because Washington had it covered. Hobart's that kind of a guy who will stand in the pocket and look downfield, and sometimes a little bit too long, but he gives his line the opportunity to protect it.
Hobart, over the top it goes, almost picked off. Joe Farwell had his hands on it. A little too much juice on it for Joe Farwell's liking.
Phil, you mentioned at the beginning of the game that each player, you know, what's the difference playing to another level? And what it is you got to make these kind of catches. Harris has to make his catch. Farwell has to make that catch. They've got to play better than they've ever played.
Now on 3rd down and 8. The ball at the 35-yard line. Pollock goes wide to the left. Hobart audibilizing now. Hobart looking left. Puts it up and overthrows number 21. Out of bounds it goes.
Well, I've seen a lot of funny signals coming in from the sideline, Phil, but you saw Hobart there waving a hand, patting himself on the butt. You know, the noise, it's so noisy here at Autzen Stadium that they can't make a normal audible call, a verbal audible call, so they're using all these hand signals from the quarterback, and that's tough to pick up in the short time you have to try and communicate to your offense.
Damon Barry, the intended receiver. 4th down and 8. Here is Wardell to boot it away. Ronnie Harris at his own 21-yard line. Look at the 10 Kelly green jerseys on the line of scrimmage. Wardell, boy, does he whistle this one. Ronnie Harris at the 14-yard line. He's going to bring it back. Great coverage by the Huskies. The clock stops with 9:30 to play in the first half. The Ducks will have it at their own 19-yard line.
New Rainier Ice Lagered Cold Filtered Draft Light.
Others are Rainier and now light draft. Fresh. Sound like bubbles. Rainier. Ice.
Draft.
Lager. That's
Light.
Rainier.
Ice Lagered Draft. Rainier Ice Lagered Draft Light. Always brings you back to that mountain fresh taste.
At Taco Time, we make it fresh, and that makes it good. So why settle for food that's borderline? Try the original soft taco at Taco Time.
Fresh, fresh, makes it good, good. Fresh, fresh, makes it good, good.
Check it out.
Wow. Good, good, fresh, fresh.
The original soft taco. Fresh, fresh makes it good, good.
Anytime, it's Taco Time.
So you're saying that smoking herb will affect my memory? That's whack. Because I've been getting high since...
The Pac-10 Game of the Week is brought to you by Lexus Luxury Automobiles, the result of a relentless pursuit of perfection. And by Great Western's family of companies, $38 billion strong. Great Western will always be there. What a tremendous race in the Pac-10. Washington State and Washington began the day 6-0 and 5-0. Washington State victorious today. Washington trying to keep pace. Look at Stanford. Stanford lost today. They are now 5-2 overall. 2-1 in conference play. And Arizona, I'll tell you, that's the best 3-2-1 team in all of college football, bar none. That's our situation with 9:30 to play in the first half. Mark Brunell from 14 yards out on the option gave Washington a 7-0 lead. Look out, will he take the tight end? Has got it at the 40-yard line. Paukoa and Josh Moore, who has one kick already today, combine on the tackle, but not before Tate rambles for 20.
You think that the people here at Oregon like this? I mean, the pattern's right over here in the middle. This is where the tight end does most of his best work, and Tate's showing that he's the guy to do it today. He's coming, as you look from the right side of your screen, just a little short pass right over the middle, picks up rambling downfield for the first down.
From the 41, halfback option, Burwell over the top. Tate's got it again. Another first down at the Dogs' 44-yard line. A flag is down. And it is in the area that is quite likely to be offensive holding. And that's Rich Brooks' editorial opinion.
Well, Oregon pulling out all the stops going into their playbook, trying to dust this one off, giving Burwell, the ball on a sweep to the right side, finding Tate downfield. Now the explanation, Coach. Here's how it works.
Offense, still first down.
You know, the defense, unlike last week, here comes Hoffman. Unlike last week, not really putting a lot of pressure just yet. Tate getting the ball for the first down. I mean, what a real drawback. It's hard to keep your momentum up like this, Phil.
That was the 5th penalty against Oregon here in the first half. O'Neal with time. It is caught out of the backfield. Ricky Whittle. He's to the midfield stripe. And caught at the 41-yard line.
This guy Whittle, number 14, is providing a lot of excitement. What a great play to come back after having that last pass to Tate called back. Just a short pass, but you know what Tate did that time, Phil? He released outside, drew the safety. They ran Whittle right behind him for the first down.
Every score by a Washington opponent has had at least one play, Russ, in the drive going for 32 yards or more. That one went for 40. Burwell caught in the backfield and spun down there. Great charge by Andy Mason.
Well, Washington defense showing that they're not giving up either.
Oregon has played tremendously well here in the first half. Look at this total yards. The Ducks with 143 thanks to that 40-yard gallop by Ricky Whittle. Washington with 85. Danny O'Neal, 7 of 11 for 116 yards and the interception by Josh Moore. And now the Ducks want to talk it over with 7 minutes and 43 seconds to play. And the first half, the only score of the game, belongs to the Huskies.
The word is out. It's Gum Out. Today, car owners are learning to improve engine performance. It takes Gum Out fuel system cleaners. Gum Out's tough ingredients help eliminate hard starts, hesitations, and stalls. And there's Pennzoil quality in every product, which is why so many people know they can trust Gum Out. Gum Out, solutions to engine problems from the people at Pennzoil.
Gum Out Extra Fuel Injector Cleaner is available at Al's Auto Supply.
Milgard windows are energy efficient, designed and built to last a lifetime. Milgard windows in vinyl, aluminum, and wood designs redefine a mastery of craftsmanship the people of the Northwest have appreciated for more than 30 years. And of course, Milgard Windows enhance the beauty and enjoyment of your home. Milgard Windows, guaranteed for life.
Tell you the truth, no. I didn't believe it.
I didn't believe it. Well, I didn't believe they were really suits by the same designers.
And they were so much less at the Men's Warehouse.
You got to go there yourself and see it. How can they do it?
I don't know.
The question's not, how can the Men's Warehouse get away with selling suits for so much less?
The question is, how can department stores get away with selling them for so much more?
That's the question.
At the Men's Warehouse, the difference is the lower price. I guarantee it.
Midway through the first half, it is Washington out in front of the Oregon Ducks 7-0. Oregon has the football at the Husky 35-yard line. It is 2nd down and 13. Burwell shifts out of the backfield. O'Neal puts it up for grabs downfield. It goes nobody close. Anthony Jones and Ronnie Harris were about 15 yards apart on the pattern, and the ball landed between both.
You know, people at home look at this and they say, you know, hey, listen, you got to try and get it to somebody. I mean, there's obviously nobody around. Take a look at that. Would you like to stand there and face that and take that kind of punishment? Looking at it, the ball had been gone a while. I mean, that was kind of a questionable hit on the quarterback. But, I mean, you got to stand there and take that. And Danny O'Neal's a tough guy. He did it all last week. Smart choice getting it away.
I think we're going to have too many men on the field for Washington. And I'll tell you, the Huskies barely got the timeout call. James Clifford went running onto the field just a split second before O'Neal took the snap, and somebody on Washington's defensive side saw that the Huskies had a 12th man on the field and called a timeout. And you saw Brooks saying, you can't do that.
Well, that is a little curious, and I'm sure they will get an explanation and hopefully get it to the people that are watching. But smart move on Washington's part, trying to get a timeout call.
Next weekend on Prime's Tough Turf Saturday, Ole Miss battles Alabama at 12:30. Georgia Tech faces North Carolina, or it's a Southwest Conference matchup. Check the local listings for the game and time in your area.
Be a part of the fun and excitement of your local Oregon club, the Daisy Ducks.
Now, other scores around the nation. Number 17, Virginia, derailed by the Tar Heels at Chapel Hill today. It was Clemson, an easy time over the Blue Devils of Duke. And look at that. NC State and Virginia Tech battling to a tie. It was Florida, no problem at all with Auburn, 24-9. Kansas, my, oh my, 97 points scored in that game. Well, Glenn Walker will tell you all the whys and hows in 7 minutes and 36 seconds on College Football Today's Halftime Report. I think he's going to tell us the hows and whys.
Well,
he assures me that he does.
Oh, he does. And that guy's great. I mean, I watch it. I tape it at home so I can go home and watch Glenn.
3rd down and 13 now. The ball spotted at the 35-yard line. You played on this field. You played in that Oregon Duck offense. What's the call here, Coach?
Well, you got me. I'm just a tight end, Coach. I mean, I learned, was trained a long time ago, you know, don't outguess the coach. But I've got to believe, you know, at 3rd and 13, they've got to get the ball downfield, so, you know, it's got to be a pass.
Deadweiler and Anthony Jones are split wide to the left on 3rd and 13. O'Neal with time. Intended for Willie Tate, who has 2 receptions today. He would have been way short of first down yardage.
Well, they're trying that same pass where they release the tight end outside. And that's the last thing that you like to see as a receiver, concentrating on the ball. And a guy like Dave Hoffman bearing down on him, that's who knocked that ball loose from Tate.
Now here is Tommy Thompson, the barefooted Tommy Thompson. This will officially be a 52-yard attempt. Last week in practice down in Los Angeles, he hit one from 62 yards away. This would be a new career best. Is it long enough? It is wide to the right.
Well, he had had the distance. That guy has got a leg. I mean, he showed us earlier how he can punt the ball and really knock it into the stratosphere. Just a little bit to the right.
It came very, very close. Russ, you're absolutely right. It had the distance and missed the right side of that crossbar by about 5 feet. A very, very disappointed junior by the name of Tommy Thompson. So the Huskies will take the football at their own 35-yard line. They'll come from the I formation. Napoleon Kaufman. He follows Frank Garcia and Tom Gallagher through the left side. Terrell Edwards moving over from his outside linebacker spot. Brings Kaufman to the turf.
83, 2nd down 7.
You know, that last defensive stand by Washington, Phil, brings to mind that we've been talking about the tough defenses in this Pac-10 conference. Stanford, Arizona, Oregon, Washington. They've got 6 of the nation's top defensive teams are members of the Pac-10 conference.
It's a tremendous conference. There's no doubt about it. 2nd down and 7 now from their own 38-yard line. Holbert's pass is caught. Joe Kralik, his first reception of the afternoon. Joe Farwell and Eric Castle combined to make the stop. Let's go down to Mike Haynes. Mike?
You might be wondering if Grinnell is hurt, and that's why Hobart is in there. That is not the case. All season long, the quarterbacks have been alternating in the 2nd quarter. So he is fine. He can't come back in and play if something is wrong or goes wrong with Hobart.
Now, nothing has gone wrong whatsoever with Washington, and there goes Napoleon Kaufman as he spins and slashes his way to the Duck 41-yard line, and Jeff Cummins, a defensive end, 14 yards past the line of scrimmage. Cummins brings Kaufman down.
And Cummins showing a lot of speed here. I mean, Kaufman coming out of the backfield here, he's not an easy guy to follow. Cummins showing a lot of speed. You know, he takes the offensive tackle on, turns around, he's beat, comes downfield to make the tackle.
Matt Jones is the up back. Kaufman is the tailback. Now they'll shift out of the eye. Hobart on the option. Whatever he saw, his offensive lineman could not adjust to. Jeff Cummins leads the charge along with strong safety Chad Cota.
We're seeing a lot of shifting in the Oregon defensive line. They're trying to read the Washington formations. Washington's going on a longer count, maybe giving Oregon a chance to get a read on what they're going to do. The option, they've run it a few times. They had success with Grinnell on the touchdown. Kaufman one time on the long pitch. Oregon trying to shut that off right now.
2nd down and 9. Joe Kralik is wide to the left. Again, Hobart will audibilize. Once Bjornsson throws, he's got it, and out of bounds he goes at the 29-yard line. Another 1st down for the Huskies. For Washington, their 5th first down of the game.
Again, Hobart making those signals to his receivers. As you see Bjornsson making the cut towards the sideline, he's sort of backing up for the 1st down. Matt Jones, they kept the quarterback when he made the audible with those signals with his hands. Jones stepped up close to the line to pick up the blitzing guy.
This time it is Bjornsson wide to the left with Kralik in the slot. Oregon playing man coverage. Play action. Hobart looking deep. Wide open. Kralik. Does he have it? No, he's out of bounds. No touchdown. He got behind Herman O'Berry. Hobart couldn't get the ball there quick enough.
Surprise, surprise. I mean, the quarterback looks downfield. He sees him wide open. Makes the fake to Kaufman here, and he comes around, and he's not really in position. He's getting a little bit of pressure. O'Berry trying to get back there. Castle trying to get back there, and luckily he was out of bounds for those guys.
2nd down and 10. The ball at the 29. Again, wide to the left. This time, Damon Mack. In the slot, Joe Kralik. Up for grabs it goes. Pass intended for Kralik. One-on-one coverage by O'Berry, and this time it is Hobart who misfires.
You know, you say to yourself in situations like this, gosh, you know, we got the guy wide open, Kralik wide open. We got a guy over the middle. In both cases, we didn't get anything out of it. It's now 3rd down and 10 to go. you have those things called mental errors. We call them MEs, and that's one thing as a player you just can't stand to have are MEs. Whoever had that coverage on Kralik supposed to cover him downfield, so they're making the adjustments on defense.
Third down now and 10, and listen to this crowd come alive. 47,000 strong. Damon Mack, he's got it and close to a first down at the 21-yard line. Where is the spot? The officials will say back at the 21. They needed to get to the 20. It'll be fourth down, I believe. It looks, Russ, like about a half-yard short.
Mack just doing a slant here, trying to lose Molden and all the confusion up the middle here. Molden doing a good job of just pulling him down to the ground, not giving him a chance to get that second effort to push for the first down. It is fourth down.
4th and 1, and the Dogs are barking for a first down. Jones and Kaufman are the setbacks. Napoleon to the 20-yard line. I believe he's got the first down.
It's going to be close.
They did not. Oregon will take over on downs.
That's the kind of defensive effort we've been talking about with these teams in the Pac-10, Phil. Don James going for it on fourth down. About a yard to go. Hobart just handing a straight handoff to Kaufman, who's following Jones into the lineup here. You see number 44. You see number 40, Ernest Jones. Terrell Edwards, everybody. Jeremy Asher, 44, just coming up to the fill it. Great defense on the part of the Oregon Ducks.
Oregon again from their patented eye. That is Anthony Jones in motion. Burwell, the left side. Still on his feet out to the 25-yard line. Hit at the line of scrimmage. First by Tommy Smith. He couldn't bring him down. It finally took Shane Paukoa, the free safety, to come up and drop him.
You know, before the game, Phil, I was down on the field, and Shane Paukoa, he and Walter Bailey were there testing different shoes on this surface to see which one had the best traction. I don't think he had any problem getting to play on that one. He obviously picked the right shoes.
Second down now and 6. The ball at the 25-yard line. 3:41 to play on the first half. Washington 7, Oregon nothing. O'Neal with time. The ball is deflected at the line of scrimmage. I think it was hit at the line by Justin Thomas. I'm not completely sure. It's going to be third down and 6 now.
You think this isn't confusing? You got two guys sending signals, and it's tough for the defense to read that. On the last play, too, Washington sent number 3, Jamie Fields, in there on the blitz. Oregon doing what they didn't do last week. They've been picking up those blitzes.
O'Neal tries to get to the outside, and he's got the first down. In boxing, they call it ringmanship. In football, it's simply called knowing where you are on the playing field. Danny O'Neal, Russ Francis, knew precisely where he needed to get to for the first down. He got it by a yard.
Exactly, and making a wise decision, getting down on the turf and not risking the injury. Shane Paukoa coming up to make the tackle. You know, last week they said he held the ball too long. Get rid of it. You know, there are times when the quarterback's got to make that decision, and I'm sure he was hurt by those sacks last week. He said, I've got a chance to get the first down, and he did.
That's Ricky Whittle. Hit behind the line of scrimmage. Boy, the first guy to nail him head on was number 75, DeMarco Farr. And that slowed him up just long enough for the rest of the Dogs to come in and feed.
You know, you look at something like that. DeMarco Farr is 6'1", 265 pounds. He hits Ricky Whittle, who's 5'9", 180, and Whittle keeps going. DeMarco Farr doing his job, slowing him down, but Whittle showing that he's not going to be stopped easily.
Second down now and 12. Whittle is the setback. Oregon going with 3 wideouts. Up for grabs it goes. The pass is intended for Derek Detweiler, and it's overthrown out of bounds. this is a much different offensive line for Oregon than we saw a week ago. Collinsworth, Tattersall, Tom Curran, Mike DeFonso, and Steve Harden.
They have really, really done an excellent job so far today, Phil. And with 2 minutes, 19 seconds left, 3rd down and 12 to go, Oregon's got to get something going to try and get some momentum, get some points on before halftime.
Again, the Ducks will go with 3 wideouts on 3rd and 12. 2:19 to play on the first half. O'Neal, all the time in the world, now chased. He puts it up and throws it away. That's exactly what he did not do last week. O'Neal, great pressure by Jamal Fontaine, the defensive end, junior out of Lincoln High School in San Francisco.
And a guy giving him some time to make that decision, Phil, was number 14, Ricky Whittle. I didn't get the numbers on the guys he blocked, but he blocked 2 guys that had a clear shot to O'Neal.
The junior from Lompoc, California, Tommy Thompson, will punt it away. The top-ranked punter in the Pac-10, not having what you would call a great day today. Blocked. Alcoa falls on it, and the Huskies will have it at the 24-yard line. Lewis Jones is the man who blocked that punt by Tommy Thompson.
Well, I don't know about you, Phil. I mean, you and I and everybody else in the stadium saw that coming. They lined everybody up. I don't even know if there's anybody back to retrieve the punt. Lewis Jones coming in and just knocking it down right in the face of Tommy Thompson. He takes that long stride right into the block by Jones. And as you said, Shane Alcoa pouncing on it, giving Washington the ball with 2 minutes, 2 seconds left.
Big block by that man right there, Lewis Jones. And here comes Mark Brunell and the Washington offense. Damon Mack is wide to the right. The setbacks are Jones and Napoleon Kaufman. Brunell option, Kaufman slammed, and I mean slammed by the strong safety Chad Cota.
Well, Cota in there real quick, Phil, but Kaufman slipping. He's obviously not wearing the same shoes that Alcoa and Bailey are. He tried to make a cut to get upfield. I mean, Cota had him dead to rights. He had 35 tackles so far this season, 83 last season as a freshman. Kaufman trying to make the break. You see him plant his foot here, and it just slides out from underneath him. I mean, that guy flies, and he's putting an awful lot of pressure just as Cota comes up to meet him head on.
2nd down and a long 16. Brunell chased out. Green jerseys everywhere. Brunell throws it up for grabs. It is caught in the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown, Washington, Jason Shelley. Yards from Brunell to the true freshman from Vallejo, California.
What poise, talking about moving a team downfield. Brunell doing everything in the world to make this play happen. He reminds me of another guy by the name of Joe Montana, getting all kinds of pressure, getting the ball downfield behind Devin Hosey, number 2, who just didn't get there. And what a fantastic catch.
Travis Hansen nails the point after. Talk about football being a game of inches. The Ducks were about a yard away from running Mark Brunell out of bounds. Instead, it's a 7-point swing. And Washington, with 1:14 to play in the second quarter, moves out to a 14-0 advantage.
This guy here, number 18, Jason Shelley, is not really, has not been a real active part. Look as he hooks, and he says he knows his quarterback's in trouble, and when that happens, get downfield, especially if it means getting into the end zone. Great presence of mind here, keeping his feet inbounds for the score. Think he liked it?
Mark Brunell. Oh my, emotion personified. The senior from Santa Maria, California. 1:14 to play in the first half, and there's a very happy quarterback.
Yeah, I think he's telling everybody upstairs, hey, let's run that play again. Those broken plays are kind of fun. I can freelance out there, find anybody I want. In that case, Shelley did it for him.
Husky fans in attendance here in Eugene, Oregon today. It's a little over 300 miles from Seattle to Eugene. And the last count I heard last night was that they were expecting a migration south by Washington Husky fans, some 5,000 strong.
There's an awful lot of purple out there, Phil. A lot of yellow and green, but a lot of purple.
Hansen lets it fly. That's Burwell out across the 22 to the 23-yard line. So with 1 minute and 8 seconds left, the Ducks trying to do everything they can to find a way to get on the scoreboard against Washington.
Well, defensive backs for Oregon, you know, trying to sit there, talk it over. What happened? How did that guy get behind us? It's tough to cover a guy that long, Phil. You covered him well. It's very frustrating. The quarterback breaks out. He's scrambling. It's tough to keep track of everybody. And Shelley just, you know, absolutely made a fantastic catch.
From the 24-yard line, O'Neal looking to the wide side. Pass intended for Derek Deadweiler, and O'Neal throws it out of bounds.
I've seen a lot of guys do a lot of amazing things in a minute, but this is going to take a real effort on behalf of the Ducks to get down the field in time to score with just 1 minute, 4 seconds left.
We're seeing Washington, unlike their season opener at Arizona State, in which the Sun Devils ran for 285 yards. We're seeing this Husky defense play a lot more zone today than we saw in that season opener, Russ.
They are playing a lot of zone, and the coach told us the reason they did was because they feel that, you know, play man-to-man with the kind of receivers Oregon has, it just gives them too much room underneath.
Huskies are going to call a timeout and talk it over. It'll come with 49 seconds to play in the first half with the ball on the 24-yard line. Oregon will have it 3rd and 10.
Fourth quarter score, it's now Florida State 29.
Yeah, we talk about the matchups on the offensive and defensive line. Mike Lustig making that tackle. That's where it's really won and lost, and it's easy to say that. But that struggle, that's what the running backs count on. That's what the quarterback count on for his protection. Are these big guys, guys like number 74, Mike Lustig.
Now the Huskies coming into this ball game 5-0, looking for win number 6. Up next, it will be a match at home against Pacific, and then Stanford rolls into Husky Stadium before Washington heads for Arizona. And boy, the Wildcats a huge win today at Palo Alto over Stanford, and then they'll wrap it up against Oregon State, and then that classic interstate tilt. This time in Pullman, it's the Huskies and the Cougars of Washington State, while for Oregon, they'll head on to the road to Pullman next week to take on the Washington State. Cougars now 6-0, and then it's back here to play California, UCLA, before going on the road against Oregon State.
And needing a win before they go into that, they call it the pit here at Oregon, Washington State, and Pullman. I mean, it's a tough place to play football. But right now, it's the Huskies on their mind.
3rd down and 10. Here come the Huskies. Pass intended for number 81, Ronnie Harris, and I think it hit him in the arm or on the hip. Harris never got turned around. I don't think he ever saw the football.
You know, when you make the break on the pattern, you've got to get your head around. Shane Palco, number 21, is trailing him here, but I think he just lost track. Harris just kind of lost track of where the ball was coming from.
Yeah, that's a strange one.
I mean, you know your quarterback's trying to get rid of it. I mean, you've got to get your head around and look for the ball.
Thompson will boot it away. Washington blocked his last one. He puts it straight up in the air. Napoleon Kaufman at the 42. Straight ahead with a midfield stripe and down there. Not a good punt. 34 yards, an 8-yard return makes it a net 24-yard effort. Mark Slyman on the tackle. And now the Huskies perhaps may not be content to run the clock out with 32 seconds left. They're at the midfield stripe.
Well, they've got some time and they've got some room to at least get down and try for a field goal, Phil. And, you know, that's something that Oregon really wanted to prevent. Giving them that last touchdown, turning the ball back over to them. They've got 14 points Oregon does not want to go in at halftime 17 points to zip.
Brunel, the left-hander over the top. It is caught again. Damon Mack has got it at the 32-yard line. A first down.
This guy can hurt you. I mean, he knows he's got real command of the field. He's got great field vision, picking Mack up on the right side of down by the sideline. Mack doing a great job keeping his feet in bounds, and also working the clock. 26 seconds left, only using 5 seconds on that play.
First down, Huskies at the Ducks 32. Again, Brunel is blindsided, and leading the charge, it's Chad Cota on the strong safety blitz. Brunel, I don't even think he got the license plate.
Well, I'll tell you, I don't mean to laugh because you hate to see a guy get hit like this, but you know, you had to know that Oregon was going to blitz, and it reminded me of that block punt when Washington blocked the punt. Oregon sent everybody. Cota coming in here, number 44, Asher, 99 Cummins, Edwards getting in there in case nobody else made the tackle. They sent everybody. And that's a real gamble too, Phil. You can get receivers downfield to get open. As we look at the sacks, 21 this season compared to 24 for all of last year.
A week ago in the loss to Southern California, it is easy to look and say, well, when you lose 32-16, the defense must not have played well. Well, that is not the case a week ago. Oregon had only allowed the Trojans a total of 244 yards, and that was Oregon's best defensive effort of the year.
Yeah, they only allowed 101 on the ground. I mean, they really played them tough all the way across the board. There were just too many mistakes. Burwell fumbling the opening return on the kickoff. Harris having a problem. You know, we thought maybe he might have recovered his own fumble, but they gave it to SC. You know, just too many things to try and recover from.
Now Rich Brooks, 16 years at the helm of the Oregon Ducks. Yeah, what a beautiful late afternoon here in the Pacific Northwest. When the game began, 68 degrees, must be down in the low 60s now. Washington on 2nd and 20. Brunel throws. It is caught. Oh, what a catch by Kralik. Herman O'Berry, I thought he got his hand on the ball. It's a first down for the Huskies. A gain of 21, and it stops the clock.
You know, I was talking to Mike Haynes, who I played with for a number of years, and he said, you know, we asked him, when you have a chance like that, do you knock the ball down or you try to knock the receiver down? In this case, they went for the ball, Hansen catching it.
From 38 yards away, this is Travis Hansen from the hold of Eric Bjornsson. Hansen lets it sail. It looks good, and it is. Time expires on the final play of the second quarter. Travis Hansen nails one from 38 yards out, and it gives his Washington Huskies a 17-0 lead over Oregon. Right now, let's go to Glenn Walker for College Football Today's halftime report. Glenn?
Thanks, Phil, and welcome everybody to the College Football Today halftime report. Let's check out some of the other scores from around the Pac-10, beginning at the LA Coliseum, where the Cal Bears are knocking off the Trojans right now by a score of 10-6. That one in the second quarter. UCLA knocked off today by Washington State, the number 22 team in the country. The score in that one you just saw. And then tonight, Oregon State will take on Arizona State. There it is, Washington State over UCLA 30-17. And Arizona in an upset over number 8 Stanford in Palo Alto. The final in that game was 21-6. And we'll show you the highlights of those games when the halftime report continues right here on the Prime Network.
Who says there are no heroes?
We welcome you back to sold-out Autzen Stadium. It is still halftime. We're the number 1 ranked Huskies of Washington out in front of the Oregon Ducks 17-0. Hi, everybody. Phil Stone along with Russ Francis. Well, it was an interesting game until just about 7 minutes to go in the first half when a couple of mistakes cost the Ducks and cost them dearly. And, Russ, we were talking at the outset of our telecast, that has been the one bugaboo for this Ducks team all year long.
Well, they've been having a tough time getting on track, Phil, and the 17-0 points. The experts said that Washington was going to lead or win by 17. That's where they are at halftime.
Well, of course, if you're Oregon, this game is just half over. They have played very, very well in spurts. What do they have to do, in your estimation, Russ, to get back in this ballgame in the second half?
Well, you know, they can't let people get behind them in the defense when the quarterback's scrambling. Brunell is so good at that. He's dangerous any place on the field. He can get the ball to any number of receivers. They've got to stay with their guys. They've been doing a good job of the offensive line up front, blocking, protecting their quarterback. They've got to continue to do that. But most important, it's very obvious, they've got to score points.
Well, Oregon played Washington straight up in the first period, but in the second quarter, Mark Brunell got loose from the 14-yard line on the option. The belly series was fake. They wouldn't give it to Napoleon Kaufman. Instead, Brunell took it 14 yards straight ahead to put Washington on the board 7-0. And then in the second quarter, disaster for Oregon.
Well, look at everybody coming up the middle. They lined everybody up. I don't even know if they had anybody back to catch the block. Lewis Jones coming in number 1 to block the punt. Shane Pauco jumping on it here. Washington's possession. That's the wrong place at the wrong time.
And then on the ensuing series, Mark Brunell chased out of the pocket. The Ducks had him on the run. He was almost out of bounds, threw up a dying quail, and look who ran underneath it. Jason Shelley, touchdown, Washington. That made it 14-0. And then on the final play of the first half from 38 yards away, Travis Hansen from 38 yards out. Yes, he splits the uprights. That made it Washington 17. The Oregon Ducks nothing, and that is where we stand. Right now, let's take you down on the sidelines. Mike Haynes standing by with Don James. Mike?
Thanks, Coach. You started really slowly today on offense. Was it something that the Oregon Ducks were doing to you early in the game?
They're a good defense. You know, we've struggled a little bit in most games the first quarter. Fortunately, we've solved some of the problems. 2 big kicking game plays, though, got us 10 points.
Well, Brunell seems to be moving the team really well. I know you all year long you've been trading the quarterbacks back and forth. Is that something you continue to try to do the rest of the year?
Well, we do it the first half, then we evaluate at halftime, and then go the second half with new decisions, and then we evaluate it Sunday and just start from scratch again next week based on how they play.
Now, your inside linebacker, James Clifford, looks like he's going to be out, won't be playing the rest of the game today. How much does that affect the defense?
Well, he's available if we need him, but he is sore. He's got a sore shoulder, and I hope we don't have to play him, but he's a good player, I'll tell you that.
Well, good luck the second half, Coach.
Thank you.
Back to you, Phil.
All right, Mike. Don James and his Washington Huskies leading the Ducks of Oregon 17-0. Today's halftime stats are brought to you by Chevron, and certainly these numbers don't lie. The Huskies in just about every category leading at total plays 40-36. The 1 turnover, the interception by O'Neal. He threw it into the hands of Josh Moore, and it's 17-0 Washington. Not what you would call an overpowering first half for Washington.
No, they really haven't been overpowering, Phil. And we talked earlier at the beginning of the game that Oregon was going to have the best game they've ever had in order to make a win possible. This guy here is giving them fits. We mentioned he's so mobile, he's so agile, he's a great quarterback. And this guy here has been having a pretty good day, Phil. He really has. O'Neal's been getting the protection he didn't get last week. As we look at the numbers, I mean, they're pretty close. O'Neal leading 112 yards to 93. But they've got to take advantage of the opportunities they get. If Oregon is going to have a chance to stay in this game and win it, Phil, they're going to have the best second half of football they've had all year, maybe ever.
The first half ended with Travis Hansen kicking it through the uprights. The third quarter will begin with Hansen booting it down the field. It is Sean Burwell off the 1-yard line across the 20. Carries it to the 22-yard line where he has stopped. Now in the first half, not much to say for the Oregon Ducks. 5 punts in all, an interception by Josh Moore, and a missed field goal by Tommy Thompson. Not what you would call a productive first 30 minutes of play by the Ducks, who come into the ball game with 3 wins and 3 losses. Double wide outs to the left side. That is Anthony Jones and Derek Detweiler. Burwell loses the ball. Washington covers it. The Huskies have recovered, and for Sean Burwell, his 6th fumble of the year.
Well, you saw Sean's reaction. I mean, he's as upset as anybody else, but coaches are always telling you, Phil, you've got to protect that football. Burwell going right up the middle. You know, in a lot of traffic, you see a lot of guys around bumping into him. He's trying to make something happen. He's spinning, he's turning. Right here, number 45, Butler gets a hand on it and just rips it away from him.
And Jamal Fontaine is the Husky who fell on it. So Washington, with their second turnover in the ball game, has it 1st and 10 at the 28. Napoleon Kaufman across the 25 down to the 24. Ernest Jones brought him down.
5 points. Counter plays, but don't worry about it.
Now Jamal Fontaine, the junior from San Francisco, awfully pleased with his fumble recovery a moment ago. It is 2nd down now and 6 from the 24. To the left, Damon Mack. To the right, Joe Crowley. Matt Jones and Napoleon Kaufman in the I formation. Now Jones moves out to the wing on the right. It is Kaufman with the football. And there's not a lot there. Gary Williams, the left defensive tackle, a junior from Fresno. There's no question but that he is Oregon's best run pursuit down lineman.
This guy, number 8, is not the kind of guy that you can just, you know, you've got to really watch him. He didn't get anything on that play to kind of lull you to sleep. The defense has got to keep an eye on that guy and pressure him as they did in the first half, because down here this close to the end zone, you can't afford to let him loose.
Now, we mentioned that at the top of our telecast. The Huskies this year have scored 44 points off opponents' turnovers this year. Trip wideouts to the top of your screen on 3rd down and 5. Mark Brunell, the senior quarterback, is calling signals. Flags are down, and it'll go against Washington. Illegal procedure.
No play.
Don James's Huskies played a near-perfect first half. Only 1 penalty for 5 yards.
Delay of game indicated.
That's delay of game against Washington.
Dead ball, delay of game, offense. Still 3rd down.
A lot of times quarterbacks come up the line of scrimmage, Phil. It's tough to keep an eye on the clock. They're trying to read the defense. They're trying to see where their guys line up. I think he audibled on that play. Just took too much time.
Now instead of 3rd and 5, it is 3rd and 10. You look at the Huskies' possessions in the first half. They had it 8 times and scored on 3 of the possessions. Brunell blindsided him. He's going down. Ernest Jones, that is his 8th sack of the year. That is the 2nd best number of sacks in the Pac-10 to Stanford's Ron George, who started today with 11.
And if Oregon needed anything coming into the second half after being down by 17 points in the first half, it was this tackle, Pete Pearson, number 71, trying to get a handle on Ernest Jones. I mean, I was surprised there wasn't a flag because he was all over him.
John Wardell will punt it away. He is standing at his own 48-yard line. Ronnie Harris back at his own 10. Wardell angling it out of bounds, and he won't find the sideline. It bounces into the end zone, a touchback. And with 12:14 to play, following the fumble by Sean Burwell, the Ducks dodge a direct hit. Now join us next Saturday in Berkeley, California for the Pac-10 game of the week. It will be Arizona. Big winners today over Stanford against the Bears of California. We invite you to check your local listing. That's next weekend, the Pac-10 game of the week right here on Prime Network. First down, Oregon. Danny O'Neill has gone all the way at quarterback. That's Ricky Whittle. You know who was probably the biggest help in recruiting Ricky Whittle to Oregon? The guy who plays ahead of him, Sean Burwell. Ricky Whittle said, when I came to Eugene and I met Sean Burwell, I knew I was going to come here because the man who's ahead of me wanted me to come and play at Oregon.
Well, they're good friends, and you can see now that Oregon has made the change from Burwell to Whittle. Whittle having a pretty good first half. Tough to bring down, really showing a lot of tenacity. Burwell having trouble hanging on to the football. I think we're going to see a lot more of 14 in the second half.
has got it at the 32-yard line. It's a first down for Oregon.
Washington's showing a blitzville on that. I mean, there's really only one receiver split out wide, the tight end in tight, so they can afford to bring those safeties up a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage and at least threaten the blitz. Deadweiler doing a good job of a stutter step there, keeping Bailey off just enough to make the catch.
First down at the 32. 11:23 to play in the third quarter. Washington 17, Oregon nothing. Whittle. Close to another duck first down. Jaime Fields tackled him. The senior outside linebacker from Linwood, California. And if Fields doesn't bring him down, Whittle is at least across the midfield stripe.
Well, you know, you got to go with a guy that's having a good day, and number 14 is having a good day. I mean, he's going to have a lot better day in the second half, but his biorhythms must be working for him because he's just not easy to bring down. He's finding the hole as the officials come out, and this guy is obviously very upset with himself, waiting for the measurement, and it is a first down.
Coming into this game, as we told you at the outset of our telecast, this Washington defense, very, very suspect against the run. A year ago, they gave up 67 yards against the rush. This year, they're giving up 149 yards. That is dead last in the Pac-10. Boy, what a difference a year makes. But somehow, some way, Russ, the Dogs just keep on winning. First down, Oregon. Jones in motion. Whittle with the ball. Boy, as he stood up and dropped on a textbook tackle, Shane Paukoa, who incidentally is playing with a broken hand.
Now, this is a tough defensive guy here. He's all over the place. Not only that, for his size, you know, 200 pounds, he's really a good coverage guy. He can cover man-to-man. He's very effective in the zone. Now, that play with Oregon, they pulled the guard and tackle David Collinsworth, number 75, and John Tattersall, just trying to get outside, get Whittle some outside running room.
Second down and 6. Again, it is Jones in motion out of the backfield. O'Neal steps up, wants to throw, instead he's going down. Tommy Smith was in his face.
46.
Al O'Neal has had big problems finding receivers in the last couple of series. He's just won for his last 8 passes.
You know, as we watch this and people at home watch it, Philip, they've got a lot of microsecond decisions to be making. O'Neal there, should I try and throw the ball away? Should I try and get upfield to make a run? Maybe perhaps thinking he could break it for a first down, with now third down and 6.
Deadweiler and Jones split wide to the left. O'Neal on the 3-step drop. It is caught and out of bounds goes Jones, the senior from Cerritos, California. He had a touchdown a week ago against Southern California. Again, it was a pattern that was way short of first down yardage. And Russ, the question is, why do you run a pattern like that?
You know, Phil, I've got to believe I didn't get a chance to look downfield when he was letting that pass go, but he may have wanted another receiver that would have given him the first down. He's covered. At least let's get the ball upfield a little bit. I think it was his secondary or third receiver.
Now, maybe Rich Brooks is asking Danny the same question. Tommy Thompson is on to punt it away. He's had one block. Napoleon Kaufman will let it bounce, and out of bounds it goes at the 21-yard line. So with 9 minutes and 15 seconds to play, the Huskies will have the ball. They already have the lead.
There's a dry chill blowing down from the Rockies. Coors Dry, double chilled for brewery fresh taste and a finish as clean as ice. Then delivered mountain cold to your store. It's not just a better dry. This is a better beer. Coors Dry. Feel the chill.
It's comforting to know that night after night, year after year, we're out there, shining bright. Unocal 76, where you find people who care about cars.
Many times it starts with a phone call.
You betcha we can.
Somebody just needing some tires.
Oh, good.
They like what they hear, they come in. That's when it starts. The Les Schwab rhythm, a tempo all its own, an eagerness to please that just seems to fill up the store. Welcome to Les Schwab, where you'll not only experience the Les Schwab difference, you'll experience great fall savings. Les Schwab, we want to be your tire store.
They've come a long way, but thus far they have enjoyed the trek. The Husky faithfuls watching their dogs out in front, 17-0, with 9:16 to play in the third period. I'll tell you, it's a 7-8 hour ride from Seattle down here to Eugene.
Long trip, but they're in it for the long haul, as it were.
3 wide receivers for Washington on 1st and 10. Brunel is blindsided. Oh, my. Ernest Jones, nobody touched him. Brunel looking around for somebody in a purple and white jersey as if to say, is anybody going to block this guy today?
I don't think anybody saw him. Obviously not Mark Brunel. Jim Neville, 52, turned around and said, oops. You know, he's playing center. Was he supposed to come back and pick up the blitzer? But that is a mean, vicious hit. Brunel doing a great job of just holding on to the football.
Well said. From the I formation, now on 2nd and 17. Napoleon Kaufman into the secondary across the 25-yard line. So Napoleon, in about 3/4 of a second, gets back 10, maybe 11. David Massey on the stop. Oregon caught in a blitz.
Well, you know, Jones again trying to come out from the outside here and blitz, and hopefully catching Brunel before he can get the ball off, obviously thinking it was going to be a pass. Brunel steps back. You know, they've been having some play action, so I think Oregon probably thinking that was going to happen next. Kaufman downfield, a dangerous weapon.
Ernest Jones, the outside linebacker, has been uncovered all afternoon. Now somebody blocks him. Brunel is going to go down, loses the football. It's way back at the 3-yard line. Now they're calling the quarterback. Brunel was in the grass. Oh, my.
You know, I'm not going to sit here and pass judgment on the officials, and this guy obviously is very, very upset. Coach Rich Brooks of Oregon. Brunel seemed to be struggling as if he was trying to get out of the grass before the ball was torn loose. He's hit right here by Banison. Romeo Cummins, number 99. He wasn't down. You know, I've got to question that. I really do.
That is indeed a fumble. To punt it away. Wardell, and he nails it. Out of bounds it goes at the 46-yard line, and there is no doubt whatsoever Rich Brooks has a gripe.
Well, one thing you've got to do, and you can see Coach Brooks, he's already forgotten about it. He said, boys, let's put this behind us. I mean, he may not be happy with it. The referees may have seen something we didn't see, but we've just got to keep going on. We'll be right back.
Remember how much fun it used to be to play in the snow? Well, it still is. To visit a place where the snow is as good as it gets and all the ways to play in it have been perfected, just call 1-800-COLORADO. Get a free vacation guide, a travel discount certificate from Continental, and a chance to return to childhood.
You're watching college football on your local Prime affiliate.
Why should you invest with Merrill Lynch? Our clients have entrusted us with $435 billion of their personal assets because of our reputation for safety, integrity, and innovation in meeting changing needs, such as our new mortgage finance program, our inexpensive estate planning, trust and insurance programs, and our services to business. Whatever your reason, you'll enjoy the personal service every Merrill Lynch customer receives. Merrill Lynch, a tradition of trust.
Successful people know the secret to successful business is productive time management. So the next time you need forms or printing, call Spanton Business Forms. They come to you. In the comfort of your office, choose the style, the print, and the paper that sets your business apart. Or let Spanton Business Forms custom design for your special needs, including computer forms, tags, labels, and envelopes. It's like having your own in-house print shop. Spanton Business Forms, Yakima's come-to-your-door print store.
Bandison hits him first, then comes, he's still spinning around, the ball's out. He has not touched down a knee or an ankle. I mean, I've got to call that a fumble.
First down, Ducks. Deadweiler in the backfield, didn't fool anybody. Great job on the part of Tommy Smith and Jamal Fontaine. They were into Oregon's backfield before Deadweiler could take the flanker around.
And maybe I'm imagining things, Phil. They've tried to run that play before and had success with it. Not today, but previously. But Washington doing a good job when they see Deadweiler heading in like in motion or trying to head back towards the line of scrimmage. Someone's screaming out, reverse, reverse. They had that read all the way. I like that hat. That looked good on you.
I'll tell you what, I think he's the head of the local kennel club. There's Whittle. And boy, is this Husky defense coming alive. David Hoffman on the charge. Hoffman, I'll tell you, he is on the watch list for the Butkus Award.
Talk about a mad dog. This guy, I mean, he's out there all on his own with Whittle. That is a textbook tackle. Whittle having a lot of room to juke him, to get loose from him. Dave Hoffman not having anything to do with this. Come to me. Great, great tackle straight on.
Shouldn't be fair for a senior with all that experience to be slapping a freshman like that. Third down now in 13. The ball at the 47-yard line. O'Neal wanting somebody to run long and throws it away. Flag is down, and they're going to get somebody for roughing the passer. And I think it's going to be DeMarco Farr. That carries with it an automatic first down. And indeed it is. Roughing the passer against the defensive tackle DeMarco Farr.
Well, you've got to wonder here, you know, why would you do that? The ball's loose. And at first, initially, I thought when I first saw the flag, I thought it was no receiver in the area. O'Neal wisely choosing to let it loose.
The passer, defense, 15 yards, automatic first down.
And these guys are just taught to be mean. You know, DeMarco Farr, he says, hey, listen, I'm supposed to go after quarterbacks. He was there. I hit him. Okay, it's a penalty.
That's a huge penalty. It would have been 4th down and 13, a punting situation for Oregon. Instead, now it's a first down at the Husky 38-yard line. Deadweiler splits wide to the right. In the slot to the right is Anthony Jones. The setbacks, Shedrick and Whittle. That is Whittle. And again, great pursuit by this Husky defense, led by Jaime Fields.
They weren't giving Whittle anywhere to go, and he did a fine job just getting back to the line of scrimmage. He may have even got a yard or 6 inches barely, but that's what you've got to do as a running back, Phil, is that if it's not going to work, if you don't have anywhere to go, you just have to find a way to get back to the line of scrimmage. Don't lose yardage.
Checking into the ball game is Willie Tate in place of Vince Ferry, the tight end. 4:55 to play in the third quarter. O'Neal over the top. It is caught by Whittle to the 25-yard line. And a first down. Whittle slicing in behind Dave Hoffman made the catch and dove for the first down.
I'll tell you, not without O'Neal paying a price here. Number 65, Mike DeFonso, lets DeMarco Farr come in and level O'Neal. Whittle doing a great job of taking that ball in for the first down. And it's going to put them back where they were when Brunell fumbled the ball. And Oregon, you know, might have had it, should have had it, could have had it. Whittle finds a way to get back down in the same area. First down, Oregon.
Oregon simply has to find a way to get the ball into Whittle's hand. What a talent. Play action. O'Neal looking deep, crossing pattern. Deadweiler can't hold it. He had it and couldn't bring it in.
This is the part of the field that Oregon has had a lot of success getting to the receivers across the middle. Deadweiler, normally a very sure-handed receiver. He breaks up here, stutters outside, right across, starts to flatten his pattern here. This is one of those tough catches. He tries to bring it in with one hand. And O'Neill now, you know, I had it to him. It was so close, but that's what this game is, Phil. It's a game of inches.
Second down and 10 from the 25-yard line. The Ducks, 4:22 to play in the third quarter, trailing 17-0. O'Neill putting it way up, looking for Harrison, underthrows Ronnie in the end zone. Koa got turned around, lost Harris momentarily. O'Neill just couldn't get any zip on the pass.
Well, he had a lot of pressure, and they kept the tight end in 87, Willie Tate. They kept him in to help block an additional guy because Washington showed the blitz before the snap of the ball. O'Brien doing a good job of reading it. Tate doing a good job of giving him the time, but he got a lot of pressure, and it's tough to get the zip on the ball, and maybe he wasn't sure which way the receiver was going to break.
Huge play for the Ducks. Wide to the right goes Jones and Detweiler on 3rd and 10. Here come the Huskies. O'Neill lets it fly. It is caught. Caught by Jones at the 10-yard line. It's a Duck first down.
This is the guy, O'Neill, number 16, got the ball to Jones last week against USC for the score. Fine catch. Watch Shane Pakoa come right up the middle on a safety blitz. Whittle doing a great job cutting him down. Nice catch by Jones. Turn around, get the ball upfield. Tommy Jones making a tackle, trying to slam him down to the turf. Puts Oregon within scoring range on the 10.
First down and goal Ducks. Their deepest penetration thus far today. Jones in motion. Ricky Whittle slips and falls at the 11. There's a good look at the freshman from Fresno, California. 5'9", 180 pounds. Well, I like this kid a lot. When he touches the football, big things tend to happen.
Well, he's going to have a great career with Oregon. I mean, he's doing a great job so far. And he's done a great job here so far today, but they need to have that guy in on the offense. They got, you know, they've been using him a lot, and they're going to use him more as the game goes on.
3 wideouts to the near side on 2nd and 12. O'Neill. He's looking for Jones, and it is intercepted in the end zone by Washington. Shane Pakoa, his 2nd pick of the season. Or was it Josh Moore? Pardon me, it's Josh Moore, his 2nd today.
Dang just putting it up, trying to float it over the head of the guy covering Jones. And it was, you're right, it was Josh Moore, number 7, just picking up and saying, no, that ball was in the air too long, it's mine.
Now another turnover. And it denies Oregon a shot at touchdown. Now that's Moore's 2nd of the day. Straight ahead goes Matt Jones. Incidentally, Darius Turner, Washington's number 1 fullback, out of the ball game. He is in street clothes on the near sideline on crutches.
There's no meter for it, Phil. There's no measurement for it. But how do you know, how can you calculate the kind of change in momentum that type of play, that interception by Josh Moore can create?
Now we told you at the outset of our telecast, Washington came into the ball game +9 in the turnover department on the year. Now they are +12. On the draw, Napoleon Kaufman. Look at him go as he slices his way to the 43. Herman O'Berry with help from Ernest Jones, and O'Berry, the right side corner, is still down. A gain of 18 for Kaufman.
Well, this guy's a thrill a minute. Anytime he gets the football, you've got to watch out. They give him a little bit of breathing room here as everybody's trying to close in on him. Castle, O'Berry, everybody trying to catch up with him. I mean, that guy can accelerate. It's incredible how fast he can get downfield as you watch O'Berry here trying to recover from hitting the turf.
We're going to step away with 2:22 to play in the 3rd period. Washington leading at 17-0.
New Rainier Ice Lagered Cold Filtered Draft. Rainier Draft. Rainier Ice Lager Draft always brings you back to that mountain fresh taste.
If you need a suit, you got two choices. Well, you can go to a department store and get a nice designer suit.
Or you can go to the Men's Warehouse.
Get the same designer suit for a lot less money. Of course, in a department store, you may get to see a cooking demonstration.
Or you can get chased by somebody spraying perfume at you.
You might get to listen to a guy play the piano. You do get to ride the escalator. At the Men's Warehouse, all you do is save money.
That's a tough choice, isn't it?
At the Men's Warehouse, the difference is the lower price. I guarantee it.
Kids need something better to do than drugs, like sports, because good things can be habit-forming, too. So why not encourage your kids' habit?
Along with Mike Haynes and Russ Francis, I'm Phil Stone. We are at Autzen Stadium in Eugene, Oregon. The Ducks have coughed up the football 3 times today, and Washington is out in front 17-0.
You know, I just had a chance while we changed from venue. I got a chance to meet for the first time the guy that broke my national javelin record, Bill. Art Skipper just stepped in the room while we went to commercial. He's now through his eligibility to Oregon, but he holds the national record, beat mine that had stood for a few years, and is going on to throw in international competition. Quite an athlete.
O'Barry, you saw sitting on the far sideline, it appears he is lost to Oregon, at least for the remainder of this game with a leg injury. First down, Washington at the 42-yard line. Brunell rolls right, plenty of time looking for downfield. Kralik. It is caught by Kralik, but wait a minute, he went out of bounds and came back in. He came out of bounds at least a yard, maybe 2, and came back in.
Well, Eugene Jackson, number 9, is pleading his case with the official. You know, what happened?
Was he pushed out is the key. If he's pushed out, he can come back in.
You see Kralik going down the sideline here. It doesn't appear that anybody's by him.
Oh, my.
I mean, Eugene Jackson, number 9, didn't touch him, didn't knock him, didn't push him out of bounds. Kralik comes back in, and Richard Brooks very upset, and understandably so.
First and goal, Washington. Kaufman at the 5, and is shoved out of bounds at the 3-yard line. Eric Castle, the only Duck standing between Kaufman and a touchdown. Boy, what a big no call that play was a moment ago. Kralik circling out of bounds near the 20-yard line, back inbounds to make the catch.
I mean, look at here. Kralik, number 9, just going down the sideline. He's out all by himself. Eugene Jackson, double number 9, didn't touch him. I mean, where's he? I just don't. I can't understand it.
Brunell almost lost the handle on the snap. He did well just to hold on to the football. David Massey on the stop.
You know, Phil, we had that fumble by Brunell, and it was kind of tough to tell, you know, with the camera angle, whether he was really down and whether the ball came loose late and it really wasn't a fumble. But that was very clear. Kralik was out of bounds. Nobody pushed him. Came back in, made the catch, and was given it, and put Washington in close range.
Wide to the left goes Damon Mack. Double tight end set for Washington. Napoleon Kaufman, touchdown, Huskies.
Napoleon Kaufman for the Washington touchdown.
Well, you see all the purple in the crowd. Napoleon Kaufman doing a great job of picking his way through the line. He looked at one hole, didn't see an opening, looked at another, and he sort of just stuttered and took the third opportunity, broke in for the touchdown. And you've got to take these kind of opportunities. I mean, we talked about the call not being made and that reception, but that, you know, any offense is going to say, hey, we'll take that. And here Napoleon Kaufman taking his third choice, trying to get up to the last scrimmage, in for the score.
Travis Hansen tacks on the point after. It comes with 1 minute to play in the third quarter. The Washington Huskies, who led it 17-0 at intermission, have now upped the ante to 24-0.
All the folks from Lompoc, California, very proud of this guy, number 8. I live down by that way, Phil, now, and they're always talking about Napoleon Kaufman, what he's done, what a great young talent he is.
Well, around the nation today, Washington State handing the Bruins their third consecutive loss. And here's one of the big upsets of the day. Arizona over Stanford 21-6. There is no question Dick Tomey's Wildcats are for real. Number 2 Miami in a cakewalk over the Horned Frogs. Look what Michigan did to the Hoosiers of Indiana. It was Alabama by a touchdown over Bobby Majors in Tennessee, 17-10. Well, these Washington Huskies, they are tough to beat. You know, Russ, that Washington is one of only 11 Division I teams that have not experienced a losing season in the past 10 years. That's incredible.
They take advantage of every opportunity, Phil, and that's what championship teams do. They take advantage of everything, and they make it turn out for them. You know, when they've had some of those turnovers and bad plays on defense, they haven't allowed anybody to score, and yet when they achieve a turnover, when they recover one, they usually take it in for the score.
Yeah, well, Washington exhibiting here in 1992, the old bend but don't break defense. I mean, this is a Washington defense, Russ Francis, that's given up over 300 yards a game, but on the other side of that coin, only 11 points a game are they allowing. And today, they have allowed the Ducks nothing. That's Burwell. Sean has got it at the 3-yard line. Out to the 45-yard line. Travis Hansen, the man who booted it away, made the tackle on Burwell.
Well, Sean showing that I'm not through. I may have had a tough first half and lost the ball, but give me the chance to run, and boy, does he, take it all the way out to the 45, giving Oregon great field position to start.
From the 45-yard line with 52 seconds remaining in the third period, Oregon has it 1st and 10. They trail it 24-0. Ricky Whittle, and look at him go. To the 26. Loses the football, and who's got it? Now the officials have a decision to make. Was Whittle's knee down, or did the ball pop loose following the 28-yard run? Washington's got it. What do the officials say? I still have not seen an indication from the referee.
Well, I saw one guy point in favor of Washington, and then I saw a couple of officials talking about it. It appears that they have made the decision to give the ball to Washington. Walter Bailey appeared on the end of this tackle. You'll watch his Whittle accelerating here past Shane Pauakoa. 23 comes up from behind, grabs a hold of him, holds on to him, tries to strip the ball away, which he does right there. Good call.
Give the football to Washington. For Oregon, their 4th misfire of the day. Brunel remains at quarterback. We saw Billy Joe Hobart for a spell in the second period and have not seen him since. Brunel to the near side. It's caught by Mack, and he is immediately taken out of bounds. Alex Molden on the tackle right here in front of us. It comes with 39 seconds left in the third. Washington coming into this ball game at a +9 in the turnover takeaway margin. Look at what they've done today. They have played perfect while taking it away from the Ducks on 4 occasions. That's now +13 on the year. And they came into this game tied for number 1 in the nation. 2nd down and 2. Kaufman caught in the backfield, and he'll lose a yard. And the first man that got to him, Romeo Bandison. You know, Bandison admits that he wasn't in shape to be a full-time starter when he was thrust into the lineup last year at Texas Tech when Jeff Cummins was lost for the season with that Achilles injury. But I don't think there's any question. Rich Brooks and Denny Schuler, the defensive coordinator for Oregon, they have to be awfully pleased with the play of Bandison this year. Final seconds, 5 seconds, 4 seconds left in the third period. Kaufman again, and again the Ducks stuff him. Final play of the third quarter. 3 down and 1 up. When we return, it will be the 4th and final period of play. Washington leads it 24-0.
You know, there's real magic in Diet Pepsi. It's got that special AHA ingredient. The right one, baby. Hey. Okay, girls. Now, what's that magic ingredient?
With 100% Let's see what Kevin left us this time. You mean what he didn't leave us?
Hey, guys, thanks for watching the place again. Sorry there's no food, but the Celica's in the garage. We need eggs. Definitely eggs.
We gotta have orange juice.
Freshly squeezed orange juice. Why don't we get some bacon?
Make that Canadian bacon.
The Toyota Celica. Bringing home the bacon has never been so much fun.
That's one of those beef,
Euros. Haven't you tasted one of these yet?
I know.
Where have you been, Mike? Living in a cave?
Yeah, so?
It's the new beef gyro from Jack in the Box.
Okay, how about just a bite? Just one little bite.
Seasoned gyro beef, creamy, tangy Greek sauce, and warm, soft gyro bread.
Say pretty please.
Pretty please.
No.
The new beef gyro from Jack in the Box. Have you had one yet?
When you've got a job to do, call on Magnum Power. The power of Dodge Dakota 4x4 Club Cab. Equipped with our new Magnum V8 engine. It'll out-haul, out-tow, just plain out-work any comparable Ford, Chevy, or import compact. Dakota is simply the best all-around pickup in America, bar none. Plus, you can get savings of over $3,400 on select Magnum Club Cabs. Put Magnum Power to work for you.
Now, see a special selection of Magnum trucks at your local Northwest Dodge dealer.
Today's third quarter notes are brought to you by Great Western. Al Kaufman, Napoleon himself, a 2-yard run for the only score in that third stanza. Josh Moore had picked off his second pass from the Oregon Ducks today. And look at Oregon. 88 yards, 3 turnovers in the third period alone. So on 4th and 4, John Wardell is going to let it fly. Standing at his own 16-yard line, Ronnie Harris is back at his own 29. The Ducks need a big, big return right here. They're trying to block it. Almost got to it. Harris will back away, let it bounce, takes a Oregon Duck bounce, and is finally down at the 44-yard line. Whoa, my. O.B. Babs, a backup tight end, came awfully close to blocking John Wardell's punt. A 23-yard punt, no return.
Well, they're sending a lot of people, just barely getting the ball away here, but just not really that close. Lucky not to rough the passer. I mean, that's what the big concern is with the coaches, Phil. When you come in and try and block that punt, you got to get right in the face of the punter, but don't knock him down.
O'Neal, 11 of 26, 151 yards, and a pair of interceptions. Ricky Whittle. Running room to the 47. Jaime Fields is the man who brought him down. We're talking about the Huskies being one of only 11 Division I teams to put together a string of 10 unbeaten seasons. You know, the Huskies currently have a 15-year mark without a losing or even a 500 season. That's the third best current mark. Nebraska, that's the unbelievable one. They haven't had a losing season since 1961. 30 years. O'Neal, plenty of time. He's going to throw it away.
Bill Byrne, the athletic director here at Oregon, going to that school and helping to hopefully carry on that tradition. You know, we talked last night to Bill Byrne for a little while, Phil, and he's really going to have a tough time leaving Oregon. He's done a great job in the 8 years he's been here. But as you mentioned, going to such a fine program in Nebraska, and he is certainly going to be an asset there for them.
Well, under Bill Byrne, Oregon built their tremendous athletic complex, the Len Casanova Center. Pass over the middle, caught by Whittle, eludes one tackler, moves it another couple of yards. Boy, I'll tell you, Dave Hoffman was intent on tearing Whittle's head off. Ricky turned around, saw him coming, and ducked just a split second ahead of the charge by Hoffman.
You know, when we watch that and the people watching it at home, I mean, look at the reactions that Whittle, you know, had to have on that. He's catching the ball. He's not really even looking out of the corner of his eye somewhere. He sees the unguided missile, Hoffman, going, and just barely avoiding him as we come up on 4th down, and Oregon is going to go for it.
Whittle and Shedrick are the setbacks. O'Neal puts it up for grabs, looking for Harrison. He can't get to it. He was screened away from the ball, and there are flags coming in from everywhere. It'll be interference against the Huskies.
Well, that was a call that Oregon desperately needed, but, you know, there's also the chance that Bailey was going for the ball, too. Both receiver and defensive back have their backs to it. As you see, Bailey, number 23, well, he did. He got an arm on Harris. Kind of, whether intentional or not, he bumped him. He's not looking back. He sees Harris starting to put his hands up, and he's reaching back to the ball. Kind of a wily move, you know. You see that in veteran defensive backs like Mike Haynes. They kind of bump the guy at the last second, hope nobody sees it.
There's the call. Now that'll move the ball down to the spot of the foul. That's a huge one. They'll take it down to the 35-yard line. That's a pickup of 18 yards.
Now, that was a good call by the officials. I mean, there's a lot of bumping going on that you just can't help. But that, he got his arm in there. There's no doubt about that.
First down, Oregon, with 13:21 to play in the game. Oregon needing a big play here. Washington showing blitz. Whittle turns the corner. Moves it to the 31, a gain of 4. Great open field tackle by the Rover, Tommy Smith.
Yeah, Bill Walsh at Stanford now. Earlier with the 49ers, I got a chance, sort of an honor to play for the guy. He's always saying, you know, when you break loose like that, get upfield, get upfield. I know that Whittle here would obviously like to gain more yards as he's sort of limping around a little bit now as Burwell comes into the game. But you want to get upfield to get some extra yards.
Whittle trotting off a little gingerly. Well, Burwell, who has coughed the ball up today, is back in at tailback. O'Neal steps up, throws, looking for Detweiler, and it is almost intercepted by Pau'ukoa. Detweiler was wide open. Problem was O'Neal simply put too much arc on the ball.
Well,
Tremendous pressure by Andy Mason. Excuse
me, Bill. And O'Neal, being very lucky that Burwell came into the game, picked up Andy Mason, and just about got him from behind on the blitz.
Now, when's the last time Oregon was shut out here at Autzen? You got to go back 9 years. The Beavers. And look at the Huskies. They have not allowed a fourth quarter point this year. O'Neal looking deep. Once Detweiler now comes back to the near side, chased from behind, and he's going down. Leading the charge, Hillary Butler, who came in the second quarter to replace an injured James Clifford, and Butler has played exceptionally well this afternoon.
And Washington, they're playing the zone. They said, Coach James told us that they were going to employ instead of a lot of man-to-man. And it looks to people like receivers are open. I'm sure Danny's feeling the same way right about here. But he's not going to take the chance of throwing that interception. The problem he had earlier, he'd rather take it down to the turf instead of try and put it up for somebody else for Washington to grab.
Thompson will attempt a 56-yard
Tommy Thompson, this one from 56 yards away. Doug Musgrave, a backup quarterback, will hold. And look at all the Huskies on the line. Boy, does he get this one. Is it on line? Yes, it is. 56 yards. The first points the Huskies have allowed in the fourth quarter this year. And with 11:35 to play, it's now Washington 24, Oregon 3.
Come on, let's go where the treats are terrific. Dairy Queen. Nowhere else will you find such a treasure of pleasure. A lavish spectacular of exciting, inviting, cool, and creamy smooth treats. So fun-loving and delicious, the only word for it is wonderful. Frozen yogurt or soft serve, plain or fancy, day or night, bite after bite. We treat you right. Dairy Queen.
You're watching college football on your local Prime affiliate.
Searching for a bank with leadership qualities? Only one bank has distinguished itself as a leader in commercial lending to locally owned businesses and has received national acclaim as one of the highest-rated banks in America, Pioneer National Bank. Pioneer's leadership is reflected in a rating of superior, simply the best by all measures. There is only one locally owned community bank in Yakima, so maybe you should talk to Pioneer National Bank, the critic's choice.
Carlton's Transmission Center, across from the fairgrounds on East Nob Hill Boulevard, have been Yakima's trusted automatic transmission specialist for more than 30 years. And now Carlton specializes in foreign automatics as well. You can drive with confidence because all work is protected by the ATRA nationwide written guarantee. And Carlton's offers free pickup and delivery and credit plans for your convenience. So when your car's automatic transmission needs a pick-me-up, call Phil and the gang at Carlton, the automatic transmission specialists.
Field goal in Autzen Stadium history, 56 yards away. Roy Geiger.
You know, you wonder, we were talking about it before we came back from commercial, whether there'd be an onside kick or not. But Oregon not wanting to take a chance, obviously, and letting Washington get the, get the field position. So they booted away down there, and Thompson, just after kicking that record field goal for Autzen Stadium, knocks it deep into the end zone as we watch this record-breaking kick by Terry Thompson, 56 yards. Now that's putting your foot into it.
Well, that one just crawled over the crossbar.
Ooh.
But nobody will ever remember how much it cleared by, only that it cleared. It is the second longest field goal in Oregon history. Roy Geiger had booted a 57-yarder at Washington State way back in 1977. But the 56-yarder we saw a moment ago, that is a team record here at home. 56 yards off the toe of Tommy Thompson. Well, what a day for Napoleon Kaufman. We told you at the outset of our telecast that he is a force with Bean O'Brien and Jay Barry both out. Bryant out with a hamstring, Barry out with a very, very sore turf toe, a fractured toe. Kaufman, the tailback. He's got the football. And Oregon chases him down. Jeff Cummins had him around the neck and waited for Jeremy Asher to come in and finish him off.
Cummins coming all the way down the line of scrimmage. I mean, that's showing good speed because he's not chasing guys slow at all. He's been all over the field. You see him coming across, just trailing Kaufman all the way down the line, getting help at the end there by Asher.
Third down and 14. Kralik splits wide to the right. Jason Shelley, who has a touchdown reception, is to the left. Brunell will sprint to the right. Pass intended for Kralik. It goes out of bounds, and the Huskies are going to have to get rid of it. Brunell will trot off. Don James looks up at the scoreboard and sees his Huskies up 24-3.
Defense doing a fine job of holding Washington, back inside their 20. So when they kick the ball, giving them a chance for the return and certainly good field position.
Al Wardell, his longest today, 52 yards. He is right on his season average of 38. Still waiting for Ronnie Harris to break a return. He'll have a chance here at the 43. Great sure-handed tackle on the part of Leon Neal. Well, it was Tommy Smith, and now we've got flags all over the place. We'll come back in just a moment.
New Rainier Ice Lagered Cold Filtered Draft.
Rainier Draft. Ice Lagered draft. Remember
Rainier Ice Lager Draft always brings you back to that mountain fresh taste.
At Taco Time, we make it fresh, and that makes it good. So why settle for food that's borderline? Try the original soft taco at Taco Time.
Fresh, fresh, makes it good, good. Fresh, fresh, makes it good, good.
Check it out.
Wow. Good, good, fresh, fresh.
The original soft taco. Fresh, fresh makes it good, good.
Anytime, it's Taco Time.
If you haven't talked to your kids about drugs, make an appointment.
Yo, Mom, what's up?
Well, Oregon has the ball back. Personal foul against the kicking team, and O'Neal will have a second chance, but not that time. And guess who? Dave Hoffman.
Well, he's everywhere, and that's where we're talking about earlier about O'Neal hanging on the ball when he should be, getting it loose. And it's a tough decision for a quarterback to make. I mean, it's easy standing up here to say you should get rid of it. He's trying to do everything he can, trying to make something happen, trying to get the ball downfield. Just stay there just a little bit too long.
O'Neal again. Deadweiler's got him, and he's got running room. Josh Moore, who has 2 picks today, an open field tackle at the 40-yard line. It will now be 3rd down and 9 from the 40. Clock running, 9:07, 9:06, 9:05 to play in the game. Oregon with 4 turnovers today. Washington has played error-free ball. Will change the play at the line. Wide open, oh my! Anthony Jones. He had the key to the safe and still couldn't get in.
Well, every receiver has done it, and what happens here, the ball's on the way. Anthony Jones knows that he's wide open. He's thinking about running with the football before he catches the football. A cardinal sin for any receiver, the one thing that we've all done.
Jones can't believe it.
O'Neal having a tough enough time with 4 sacks and a tough week last week, and now this week he's hit several receivers, Phil, and they just had a tough time hanging on to it.
Now the officials apparently in some sort of a discussion now talking to Rich Brooks. Apparently we've got a clock out at the far side of the field, and that is what it is. The 25-second clock is not functioning at that end. It is working fine at the other end. They're going to run it down at the other end and see if maybe resetting it will cause that one to pop back on.
Critical, Phil, with 8 minutes 44 seconds left here. You're never out of it. I mean, Washington's ahead 24-3. There's only 8 minutes 44 seconds in the 4th quarter, but Oregon is now moving the ball. It's 4th down, however.
The 25-second count is not working. Therefore, we will shut them both off. The 25-second count will be kept by the field judge.
As I was saying, Phil, 4th down and 9. You've got to believe Oregon's going to go for it.
You look at total yards, Washington with 243, Oregon with 256. And if that is all you knew about this ball game, you might suspect it would be something like a 17-14 game. Not so. 24-3 Washington. O'Neal, post pattern, going deep, looking for Harrison, overthrows him. Just terrific coverage on Ronnie Harris by Walter Bailey. And on 4th and 9, the Huskies will take over on downs. The Ducks so close.
Well, everybody said it time in and time out. It's a game of inches, and Harris just not being able to get there. Covered very closely. If that ball wasn't thrown high and long like that, Phil, I mean, Bailey would have knocked it down. So it had to be thrown out in front of Harris, just not able to get to it.
Billy Joe Hobart has come on in place of Mark Brunell. 1st and 10 Huskies. The give straight ahead. It's Matt Jones, the fullback, a junior from Portland, Oregon. Bangs his way upfield for about 8.
And the guy that keeps jumping out at you on that Washington offensive line, blocking initially at the line of scrimmage, then all the way downfield, number 75, Lincoln Kennedy, the leader of that offensive line. That's where you can tell that the offensive linemen are really, really into a game, Phil, really, really trying to protect their running backs. You see him blocking downfield about 10, 15 yards. That's what Kennedy was doing there.
To the left comes Jason Shelley. Damon Mack is wide to the right on 2nd down and 2. Again, straight ahead it goes. Napoleon Kaufman has the first down at the Duck 46-yard line. This is the 86th meeting between the Ducks and Huskies, a rivalry, Russ, that dates way back to the year 1900 when these two teams first met on the gridiron.
Well, they've been playing against each other for a lot of years, as you mentioned, Phil, and this guy here showing today why Washington has held the lead, at least in recent memory and in recent years.
9 of 15, 152 yards, and a touchdown. Well, what a touchdown it was. He was going out of bounds, being forced out over in front of Oregon's bench at about the 40-yard line. Threw a dying Quail up, and Jason Shelley ran underneath it. Draw play. Kaufman again, and he is leveled at the line of scrimmage.
Napoleon Kaufman picks up a yard.
Jeremy Asher and Joe Farwell combine on the tackle. Farwell, number 51.
On the stop.
He is the number 2 tackler in the Pac-10. A couple of weeks back when Oregon lost to Stanford, Farwell had 15 tackles against the Cardinals.
And he's a guy, you know, the defensive guys are talking to each other now. What they have to do is find a way to knock that ball loose, make Washington cough it up, and make something happen. You know, that's the task of the defense in a situation when you're behind like that, is they've got to take charge and make something happen.
Damon Berry and Jason Shelley are wide to the right out of the I formation. 6:39 to play in the game. There's Kaufman to short side of the field, and he has got running room, run out by Eric Castle, the free safety. Kaufman, the Pac-10 Player of the Week for his effort a week ago against the Golden Bears of California, when he raced 208 yards on 30 carries and 2 touchdowns. Now today's attendance here at Autzen Stadium, 47,612. Boy, look at that. What a beautiful, beautiful twilight here in the Pacific Northwest. 3rd and 2. Offside, Oregon. Free play, Huskies. Joe Kralik got it, but he was out of bounds. No matter. It'll go against the Ducks, and it'll be a first down for the Huskies. Well, next up for Washington, you might assume a breather. They'll face Pacific at Husky Stadium. Oregon will have a bye next week before heading up to Pullman, Washington on Halloween Day to meet the undefeated Cougars. Big victory today for Mike Price and Washington State over UCLA.
Defense, penalties 5 yards, previous spot, gives Washington a first down.
Now, as we look at Coach Brooks here, he sort of represents, I think, the feeling on the Oregon sideline. It's like being on an island. You know, you're an island. You're sitting there all alone. What can we do? We haven't been able to make anything happen. We've had some tough calls. We've had some tough breaks. It's been a long day. And it's getting longer.
A couple of huge calls went against his Ducks. Hobart tries the left side. Oh, my. Look at the hole on the right. He runs helmet to helmet with Herman O'Berry. Terrell Edwards finally finished him off. I'll tell you what, there is no quit in Billy Joe Hobart.
He's a big guy. He's 6'3", 225 pounds, and showing there he likes to run with the ball. When you see a quarterback lower his shoulder, drop it into a guy like he did in O'Berry, you know, you can tell he likes to run it. He looks a little confused here. Maybe the handoff was missed or whatever, but he chose to take it on. Now watch him at the very end, Phil. He just sort of drops his shoulder into O'Berry and says, "Come on, let's go." He has a little weight advantage, but O'Berry not giving up.
There's O'Berry, the sophomore corner out of North Highlands, California. There's Kaufman. He is hit at the line of scrimmage and nailed. Absolutely no running room whatsoever, because guess who was in his way? Joe Farwell.
Now you start thinking about things things this time of game, Phil, and this time of year when the Ducks are 3-3. It was a tough tough game last week against USC. They're having problems here with Washington. They go after the bye to Washington State. You know, things start to sort of load up on you and wear you down. You just have to find a way to break free of it.
Kaufman, short side of the field, is wrapped up. Guess who? Farwell, number 51, once more.
Yeah, Farwell sort of mirrors the Dave Hoffman technique. I mean, he's everywhere, sideline to sideline, hard nose up the middle. It's hard to find a linebacker like that, Phil, that can sort of do it all. Joe's 6'2" and 210.
Oregon takes a timeout. It comes with 5 minutes and 2 seconds to play.
Behind me is an ultra-sophisticated piece of equipment from Horizon Air. If the other airlines were to find out about this, well, I don't have to tell you. We call it a cart. You put your bag on it just before you board your Horizon Air flight, and then somehow, magically, it's waiting for you on a cart when you get off. It's like checked baggage without having to check it. Do you know how much time you save? I do.
If you were a millionaire, what would you do with the money?
I'd give it to my boss. Sorry.
So, if you were a millionaire, what would you do with the money?
I'd start my own business, training the people that nobody listens to. Be the wall.
What you do with the money is up to you.
Pac-10 Powerball explodes with head-on high-impact football. The West Coast top stars turn up the heat, gunning for glory in the nation's most rugged conference. Pac-10 football. It's a hit.
This season's Pac-10 football on Prime Sports Northwest is brought to you by Dairy Queen. We treat you right. And by Milgard Windows. Guaranteed for life.
The Pac-10 Game of the Week is brought to you by Diet Pepsi with 100% AHA. You got the right one, baby. AHA. And by Great Western's family of companies, $38 billion strong. Great Western will always be there. Holbert looking for more. Pass intended for Kralik, and he overthrows him. Coverage on the play by Alex Molden. Now that crowd we spoke of a moment ago here at Autzen Stadium today, 47,612. And as we told you at the outset, it would be the largest crowd to ever witness a college football game in the state of Oregon, and indeed it is. The old mark here at Autzen, 46,000 and change. Here is Travis Hansen from 36 yards away. Eric Bjornsson will hold. Bruce Bailey is the snapper. Plenty of distance, and he pushes it to the right side. It is no good. Oregon will take the football at their own 20-yard line with 4 minutes and 52 seconds to play. It's Washington 24, the Ducks 3.
An entire community starts attributing the daily horrors of their lives to a mythical figure.
From the incredible imagination of Clyde Barker
Candyman, get me.
comes a living,
They ain't never gonna catch him.
breathing
He's under the bed!
terror. Candyman. You don't have to believe. Just beware. Candyman. Rated R.
Galavision, KYXE Radio Centro's Spanish television partner, reaches into an astonishing 40% of Yakima County Hispanic homes in the metropolitan and Lower Valley Sunnyside areas. These increasingly affluent, permanent Hispanic cable households are served by the Galavision Network's premier Echo World News Service. Latin superstar entertainment from today and yesterday, series, soaps, and sports. Everything you'd expect from the first full-service national Spanish television network, tailored for Yakima's predominantly Mexican-American Hispanic market. Translation and conversion of your existing English production to Spanish is provided at no charge, and full production services are offered. We simplify Hispanic marketing. Call us at 457-1000, because the combined power of KYXE Radio Centro and Galavision TV means powerful results from Yakima's fastest-growing consumer group, local, permanent, Hispanic American families.
88. They knew what they had to do. They came in here, caused 4 Duck turnovers, and took care of business.
This is where the Oregon players just sort of have to make up their mind to put everything behind them. This is going to be our scoring drive. They've got 80 yards to go. Find a way to get downfield and score. There's still 4 minutes, 52 seconds left. A lot of things can happen.
First down from the 20-yard line, 4 minutes and 52 seconds left. O'Neal rolls right. This time it is caught by Anthony Jones. He's got it across the 41-yard line.
Anthony Jones up to the 41.
For Anthony Jones, that is only his 3rd catch of the game. For a total of 38 yards, a pickup of 21, a first down for Oregon. It's Detweiler. He is into Husky territory at the 45.
And Oregon going with the no-huddle offense. They don't have the time to get back to the huddle to make the call. You see an entire change of defense on Washington's part. They're sending all their top guys back in, it appears.
Yeah, 11 for 11. 11 are coming off, and 11 new ones are going on, and those are all the starters.
Well, number 11 just ran off on defense, too. I mean, isn't he the quarterback? God, he plays, Mark Brunell's everywhere. He plays defense, too.
Different number 11.
Oh, sorry. I thought, man, they've got him playing safety, linebacker, something.
Yeah, that's an interesting observation. You've got Brunell wearing number 11, and Justin Thomas, a backup defensive end to Jamal Fontaine, is also wearing the number 11. That'll stop the clock with 4 minutes and 24 seconds to play. Well, Russ and I, along with Mike Haynes, will be in Berkeley, California a week from today, and what a ball game that should be. The Golden Bears and the Wildcats of Arizona. Arizona fresh off a huge victory today in Palo Alto against the Stanford Cardinal. Ronnie Harris is split wide to the right. Washington is in a zone defense, and quite likely they will stay there the rest of this ball game. O'Neal pressured, and the pocket collapses, and so does O'Neal. Andy Mason is in there, along with Jamal Fontaine and Mike Lustig.
You know, Oregon's been having a real tough time when they go back to that straight drop back pass. They had success rolling out, keeping people away from O'Neal. He just doesn't have time to pick anybody up.
O'Neal audibilizing. He's changing the play here on 3rd down and 17. Short drop, caught from behind and spun down again. And guess who? Fontaine once more. That is the 6th time O'Neal has been down today, to go along with the 13 times he wound up on his backside a week ago at Southern California.
But you can't say that he, didn't want to get the ball downfield. Ricky Whittle, number 14, was supposed to block Fontaine, and Fontaine just sort of jumped over him, around him, and then grabbed a hold of O'Neal to take him down.
4th down now and a long 20. O'Neal to the near side. It is caught.
Pass complete to Vince Terry at the 50-yard line for a gain of 5. The Huskies take over.
Well, I'll tell you what, you wonder, you asked earlier, Phil, why they throw that sideline pass, in that case to Vince Ferry, number 88, when it was way short of the first down. He's getting a lot of pressure. He's been sacked. He's just saying, hey, I want to get out of here with my skin. He's the only guy open, so let's make it, let's get the ball to him. Let's see if he can make something out of it. In that case, he just got it too far in front of him. As you see, Rich Brooks probably asking the same question. But, you just hope your receiver can maybe make some of that up.
The Huskies will take over on downs. That is Leif Johnson. When this season began, Johnson was listed as the 4th-team fullback, but because of injuries, as I spoke of a moment ago to both Jay Barry and Bean O'Brien, they had to have somebody in behind Napoleon Kaufman, and it is Leif Johnson. In behind Johnson is Ateka Huckabee. Clock running, 2:41, 2:40. Washington led 17-0 at halftime. They now lead 24-3. That's Johnson to the 37 of Oregon. Boy, Cummins wants a piece of somebody. I think anybody in a white jersey with purple numbers.
Yeah, I'd watch out if I were the official here. I mean, he's wearing a little bit of white there. Cummins might mistake him for one of the bad guys and knock him down. You know, this is the time of the game when players are frustrated, when these type of flare-ups are going to happen. This guy, Danny O'Neill, I'm sure very upset, very frustrated, as the whole Oregon team is, and as their fans are. They had a tough time last week. They're having a heck of a day, tough day today. You just got to find a way to regroup.
First down, Washington at the 37 of Oregon. Straight ahead it goes, and look out.
Just when you think they've used all their weapons, they find number 30, Richard Thomas, third-string fullback. No one was going to bring him down. He says, this is my time to shine. You know, when a backup player gets in there, Phil, Eric Castle here, All-American safety, makes a run at him, as does Chad Cota, number 2. You know, he's just not going to go down. Moulton comes in and grabs a hold of him. That's your chance to make a name for yourself. Get some more playing time.
Richard Thomas, a redshirt freshman out of Kentwood High School in Kent, Washington. First down and goal, Huskies. Not much as Leif Johnson takes it in behind Frank Garcia. Troy Bailey and Jeff Cummins combined to bring Leif Johnson down. Johnson is a junior, 5'11", 215 pounds. Well, in the last 15 years, the Washington Huskies have either won or finished second in the Pac-10 12 times. And it looks like they may be on a collision course to make it 13 times in the last 16 years here in 1992. Now the officials are going to stop the clock with 56 seconds to play. Now, Russ, we have been here all weekend long, and there you see the injury on the far side. It is number 65. Straight ahead it goes down to the 2-yard line. The injury was to Mike DeFonso, an offensive guard.
Well, I think that may be a defensive guy using the same number again as we had.
Very well could be. Yeah, it is. It's Jerry Kent who is the one who limped off. He, too, is wearing number 65, we're told. So now it is third down and goal, Washington, with 22 seconds. And the Ducks are going to stop it. Straight ahead it went. Romeo, Bandison, Cummins, Gary Williams, Massey, and...
You know, and you wonder and you worry. People say, well, is Coach James trying to pour it on? You've got to give those guys a chance that are backing up your starters. Give them a chance to get some confidence for themselves, and I think that's what he's doing. Luckily, Oregon able to hold. The game is over. The Huskies win it 24-3. A tough day for the Ducks. Another victory, number 20 consecutive victory for Washington. And we'll be back right after this message. Thank you.
This live presentation of Pac-10 football on Prime Sports Northwest was brought to you by new Rainier Ice Lager Draft and Rainier Ice Lager Draft Light.
You're watching college football on your local Prime affiliate.
Now, up to 50% off hotels, restaurants, and attractions. Call Tours in Vancouver, 1-800-888-8835.
Hello, I'm Jim Curtis, the fleet manager for Good Chevrolet in downtown Renton. My office has been serving the transportation needs of the Puget Sound area businesses and their employees for the past 26 years. At Good Chevrolet, we specialize in small to mid-sized companies but can handle orders of any size. So call me, Jim Curtis, at Good Chevrolet today for all of your driving needs.
Good Chevrolet in downtown Renton. Call 235-2000.
Washington Huskies convert 4 Oregon Duck turnovers into a 24-3 victory. And the play of the game today is brought to you by Diet Pepsi. It occurred in the second quarter, Washington leading the Ducks 7-0. Oregon had Mark Brunell on the run from the backside and from the front side. Brunell almost out of bounds, throws up the dying Quail. Jason Shelley got behind the senior corner. Devon Hosey made the catch. That made it 14-0. Washington up the halftime inning to 17-0 and won it going away 24-3. A capacity crowd here at Autzen Stadium, the largest crowd to ever watch a college football game in the state. And they went away a bit unhappy. Back with some final thoughts in a moment.
Anything you can handle, we can handle. Yokohama High Performance Tires.
My voice has been pre-recorded to demonstrate a remarkable point. A car phone so well conceived, it's not only portable, but voice activated. Now, dialing's as easy as this. Call office.
Thank you for calling Lexus. May I help you?
If you want to move ahead in any career, you have to know what most employers want. Like how to work with a team, how to handle responsibility, how to take on a tough job and see it through. You can learn all these things in the Army, so when you do set off on the road to success, you'll already be in the driver's seat.
When do you really need Hertz Instant Return? Airport rush hour. That little window of time when it seems that everybody's trying to make their flight home. Look, in just moments, the Instant Return computer prints out your receipt. No counters, no waiting. No time lost making your flight. Instant Return is one more reason why Hertz beats the rush hour. My running days are over.
Final score, the Washington Huskies 24, the Oregon Ducks 3. Join us next Saturday in Berkeley, California for our Pac-10 Game of the Week. We'll bring you Arizona at California. Today, Dick Tomey's Wildcats played great defense and upset 8th-ranked Stanford in Palo Alto. A week from today, it's Arizona at Cal. That's next weekend, the Pac-10 Game of the Week, right here on Prime Network. Well, it's not exactly the way the Oregon Ducks had it planned out, but this is the final score. Washington 24, Oregon 3. Stay tuned for a wrap-up of all of today's scores and highlights on college football today. And now, for Russ Francis and Mike Haynes, I'm Phil Stone. So long from Eugene, Oregon. Prime Network has presented the Pac-10 Game of the Week, brought to you by Lexus Luxury Automobiles, the result of a relentless pursuit of perfection. By Diet Pepsi with 100% AHA. You got the right one, baby, AHA. By Great Western's family of companies, $38 billion strong. Great Western will always be there. By Coors Light, the Silver Bullet is the right beer now. By your Southern California Chevrolet and Geo dealer. And by Stagecoach Funds, available for investors now at every Wells Fargo office.
Welcome, everybody, to the College Football Today post-game report. A 24-3 victory for the Washington Huskies. Let's check out some other scores from around the Pac-10. They're still playing at the Coliseum, and the Cal Bears are sitting on top of USC. The score in that one is 24-13. Sean Dawkins has caught 3 touchdown passes. Number 22 in the country, Washington State, remains perfect at 6-0. They knock off UCLA. The final today in Pullman was 30-17. And number 8, Stanford, knocked off by the Wildcats of Arizona. The score in that game was 21-6. We'll show you highlights of those games when the post-game report continues right here on the Prime Network.
Who says there are no heroes? What about the guy who treats a fender like modern art? And all the ones who never call the game on account of weather? There are people who make things perfect 1,000 times a day. And if Bank of America can help with the money, keep things safe, save them some time, then they can go on doing the really important things. Banking on America. Bank of America.
Oregon State football is rocking on Prime Sports Northwest. Catch your favorite Pac-10 party animals on Prime Sports Northwest for every game of the season. The Beavers party on Prime Sports Northwest. Look for a hot one when the Beavers take on the Sun Devils in Tempe, Sunday, October 18th at 5 Pacific.
If you could look into the future of your car, you'd do something about it. You'd pour in a one-time engine treatment of T+ with DuPont Teflon to protect your engine for as long as 50,000 miles, so it would run smoother, last longer. If you use T+, you might not worry about getting a new car. You might still have one. New car or old, get the T+ treatment. The T is for Teflon. The plus is for protection.
An entire community starts attributing the daily horrors of their lives to a mythical figure.
From the incredible imagination of Clyde Barker
Candyman, get me.
comes a living,
They ain't never gonna catch him.
breathing
He's under the bed!
terror. Candyman. You don't have to believe. Just beware. Candyman. Rated R. Now playing at a theater near you.
During a crisis, people tend to pull together as a team. The Shanti Foundation team helps people face a crisis called AIDS. Find out what Shanti can do for you.
It's time to make your move.
The ball's in your court.
Let's begin our Pac-10 highlights at the L.A. Coliseum, where Cal tailback Russell White was a no-show against the USC Trojans. He had a groin pull, and of course the Trojans wanted revenge for last year's 52-30 loss at Strawberry Canyon. Not a good day so far for the Trojans. New Cal coach Keith Gilbertson would be chomping at the bit early. Bears up 3-0. They would get more. Great catch by Sean Dawkins. And once he gets up, a nice dance, too, as the Bears lead at 10-0 in the first quarter. USC quarterback Rob Johnson, a tough day. He is drilled here. He would leave the game with a banged-up knee, but he would later return. However, his backup, Reggie Perry, would get USC going. On this play here, he will drop back and put it up to Curtis Conway, who makes a great